podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this is dollar beat.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. No matter what nobody say, man. Spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar, but I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made $350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing boys.
What up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Sunday edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside a rotating panel of co-hosts. We're going to be talking some boxing. We got a bunch of news and notes, plus 4 main topics to talk about. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Bob Arum, Kevin Cunningham, Devin Haney, Bernard Hopkins, just amongst some of the names that we will be discussing today. So if you guys are interested, you know the number to call in. The number to participate is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Yes, sir. We are back. Let's head on out to New Jersey's own.
I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one to stop me. Lynch is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody like me. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their cloth. There's no one that can match.
Champ! Let's go, champ. Looks like my man AJ's back up on that high horse, and he's riding it like Napoleon right now. Got mad caca out there to say. But let's move on. Champs, Enrique, my man Mario, what's going on?
What's up, man? Yeah, I just want to say I saw fight too.
Stay focused, stay working my dad. Like boxing voice. Because if he comes to fight, then I'm going to have to look for him.
I saw the fight too.
I think you acted.
Yes. So AJ's on the news. There's some other opponents besides Pulev, so I'm a little bit lost with it. But I did see 2 Muhammad Ali fights last night on ESPN. Thanks for Bob Arum, who was on the show and promoted it to us firsthand. What's up? Let's talk about it.
It's me, Mario.
We go away on Friday and boxing just loses its mind. Yo, this whole Devin Haney thing just shook the world of Twitter. I saw people that didn't even know who he was getting involved. Like people that had like anime, like for their like, and nothing against anime. I like anime as much as, you know, the next person, I guess. But yeah, like people that didn't even know nothing about boxing. They just was like, Twitter moment. Let's get them. They put on their Twitter police badges and not to like, you know, we'll chop it up. I mean, it's one thing to say something bad. It's another thing to have malice in your heart. So, yeah, we're back so we can calm the waters.
Mario's ready to kick it off with the Devin status. But, yo,
right,
AJ...
we can stay in order, though.
Yo, AJ has been making mad noise. Like, he's on the podcast with Chris Mannix. He's out there saying some flagrant stuff, you know, talking about, you know, eat chicken, Wilder, and, like, now your cloth is different, but he can't say bitch for some reason, so he says B, last letter H.
I kind of liked it. I kind of like the play at words. You know what I'm saying? Because he tells you like, yo, I like to respect my sponsors, and he gave you a list of reasons why he's a respectable dude. And
he insults you, mad professional.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Politically corrected.
I actually tried to think could there be any other word? Like what other words start with a B in it? I was like, hit it, botch. Nope. I was like, but why wouldn't he just say bitch? Like to me, it was kind of like a weird
he
thing.
Ain't built like that. He ain't built like that. The question is, would he say that shit in his face? Face off time. Is he gonna say, "Finally got you in the ring, you bitch"? Is he gonna say that when they finally step face to face?
I finally got you in the ring, you B and ends with an H.
Well, his background, right? He comes from the streets, man. He just cleaned himself up. Remember that?
Fuck it, Reek. Mom taught him better. You know what I'm saying?
Mom taught him better.
Yeah, mom brought him up different. But he's still really, really flagrant though on the DL. Like little side comments about the chicken and this and then plenty of other stuff. It's still like I know I gotta be wild to hearing this. Like, yo, I just can't wait to dig my right hand into this guy's jaw. Like,
but I would rather. Go ahead.
I was gonna go right into AJ mentioning Kownacki as an opponent.
Well, not just Kolonaki. 6 fights that he wants before he retires, and he basically mentioned every name I would love to see him in the ring with. You know what I mean? He mentioned Luis Ortiz, Adam Kownacki, Alexander Usyk, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. You know, I don't know if I've left
Jarrell Miller.
Jarrell Miller.
Big Baby. That's all names I literally want. You know what I mean?
We officially gonna call this the UK AJ hit list and shit. Like this is
my man's ducking now.
My man's shit.
Yo, if he didn't put White's name on there,
bro,
that's a duck.
He did it already. Come on, Mario.
Yeah,
old
I don't care.
news.
He needs to give White that get back at some point. He earned it.
You can't say somebody that beat you is ducking you. You know what I mean? White ain't even get a world title. Like, it's different for Gary Russell, Lomachenko. They both got world titles, but White ain't even won a world title talking about somebody ducking him. Like,
but see, if you hear the interview and you hear what he like if you read all the quotes and everything that people were talking, it's like one of those things where I felt like it was his list of guys that like within that bubble. And to me, like to have White outside that bubble makes no sense. They have a history. I mean, they could do really big numbers. I mean, I'm glad he did mention.
I mean, you gotta understand, man. I don't think you're looking at it from an economic standpoint. Like, look, White made old business. Kownacki is a Brooklyn fight. Plus, now with the blueprint, he's looking at it like, yo, that's a winnable fight if I want to come back and make my New York American debut. After I get that win, Big Baby's another Brooklyn, New York City fight. You know,
I think that's where it should start. That's unfinished business right there. You know what I mean?
But you could warm into that. But you could warm into that. You could build that up by beating Kownacki and saying that. Like, yo, I'm here and I got unfinished business with Jarrell Miller. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you do it. So
damn, I beat the friends up sort of thing.
Exactly. Like
the hometown boy.
I see what he's doing.
The Brooklyn boys up.
Listen, he wants legacy.
UK won't know where to fucking go with that one.
He wants legacy, and look, unless White does something, he doesn't add to the legacy. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Unless White officially gets an accolade, he can't help AJ's legacy. Like, beating the interim silver WBC isn't going to make AJ first ballot or anything quicker.
Look, I hear you on that, but that was why I was so excited when he mentioned Kownacki. Like, if you're talking about Kownacki, to me, I didn't take it as like, oh, he lost, so, I'm going to get him. He's going to be the first one because he hit it's not about business to me, but I get why you're saying I'm not looking at the economics.
It is about business.
So it is.
Remember, they sent him a $7 million. Right. Remember, they sent him a $7 million offer for that fight, and he turned it down.
And I'm not stipulating that, and nor am I disputing that. All I'm saying is, like, when I hear the name Kownacki, I'm like, oh, he's encompassing much more than like who he wants at this moment. Like, how many times have we heard him call out Fury? How many times have we heard him call out Wilder? Like, those names, we know he wants those names. Kownacki, to add some flavor to his call outs was just nice to see, and I would have liked White to be attached to that. That's all I'm saying.
is there White would definitely make a good UK fight. You know what I'm saying? They'd have that up there, like, you know, another brawl. It's like it'd be like another brawl in hometown. You know what I mean?
Okay, I feel you. So that's where you're at. You think it's more of like
UK fight,
for them.
domestic.
Okay.
Domestic.
I might be a little too into it. Maybe
I look at it as it's not needed. You know what I'm saying? It's
exactly,
not needed
Cash.
You know what I'm saying? And if that's his list before he retires, that's what, like 3 years right there? 2 fights a year. So I don't see Dylan White needing to be again on his resume as a win to retire.
Well, I would say that White. I would say that none of those guys on his list are. I mean, not all, at least excluding Wilder and Fury. I don't think any of those guys are right at this minute must face for somebody to retire.
But Luis,
you know what I'm saying?
Luis Ortiz is a good matchup for him.
That's definitely a good matchup. Yeah, they're all great fights, and I would love them. So I'm not going to try to. I'm not trying to nitpick at all. I just like, you know, if you're going to put Adam Kownacki, I think Kownacki absolutely could bounce back from his loss to Hellenius and do something worthy enough to get into it with Wilder. I just believe that White could do the same. So
so Bob Arum, I mean not Bob Arum, sorry. Keith Thurman and Keith Thurman was a guest, and he was talking about a 10-rounder he would do without an audience, right?
Yeah.
I heard Dan Rafael's interview talking about how 70,000 people at an AJ fight are needed because that's a mega, and the gate matter.
Yeah, but AJ already discussed that with Chris Mannix and said he's willing to take an $8 to $10 million pay gate cut.
Right. So at that point, we will see it against Kownacki, I think. If the pay cut.
Nah, because if you're gonna use Kownacki, believe me, you're using him for the attraction that he is in Brooklyn, bro. Like you're not.
Yeah, but it's also a pay cut. It's probably not to the hardcores. I don't even know if that levels up to like the odds against AJ.
No, what I'm saying is Kolonki's not a television fight, even though it is because of his style. But when you use a Kownacki, you want to capitalize on his ticket sales. Like, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
For that, go fight White in America. You feel me? Fight Dillian White in America if tickets don't matter.
Well, he fought Charles Martin, and it filled the arena, and I don't think it was banking on Charles Martin to sell tickets.
Doggy.
In London. You can't always be right, Ness.
Listen, but you're talking about a whole nother country, homie. If you want to talk London, then we all know AJ could fight fucking his grandfather and fill it up. We talking America. We talking, why did he mention Adam? He ain't mentioned Adam to bring him to the UK. Not in my opinion. That's my opinion. If you think he's willing to take Adam, who's a New York ticket seller, to the London, okay, that's what you just said.
I thought you were saying. I thought you were saying we wouldn't see an AJ fight. Period. Right? Isn't that what you're saying?
I was not saying that. I was saying that the matchmaking now has to, be worth the money. You know what I'm saying? Sure. If you take a $10 million pay cut. I wasn't even placing it on any's land. I was just saying the shit probably happens in a motherfucking gym, with cameras. We don't know. It's not gonna be in an empty arena.
And
that,
I just countered by saying you won't acquire a man of Adam Kownacki's services if you're not going to capitalize on his fan base, is what I'm saying. I don't believe they would just do a straight to TV fight with a dude that's a ticket seller.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that's absolutely.
Robert Hellenius
is better in UK than
Robert Hellenius. Robert Hellenius is got more upside because he beat Adam, but he don't got the fan base that he's from Finland. He don't got a fan base to speak up.
Though he might be dangerous. He might be what we talk about when Keith Thurman was like, "I'll fight a 10-rounder."
Listen, if you listen to the Bob Arum interview we did, and you listen to the Dan Rafael interview, and you also read the Dan Rafael article that's out on Boxing Scene, it's clear right now that site fees are being negotiated. This is going to come down to how much money a network will give. And that is ultimately what it's going to come down to. How much will they pay for a Kownacki versus AJ versus how much they're going to pay for an AJ versus, I don't know, Big Baby, whatever. These prices aren't set at this moment, but whatever we're going to infer from them is going to be, what did they used to get paid? Now, how much will they get paid now? I think I think Enrique is absolutely right. I think that right now they're saying, okay, well, we could afford to do a fight with this fighter with AJ, but we don't. we can't afford to do this fight, without the gate fee. I think that's going to be a huge implication of what fights we actually do see. Despite the fact that Bob Arum saying a championship fight could be seen and shown, Enrique kind of got him on that one. Like, well, wait a minute. If this is a huge fight and these guys are cheering to an empty crowd, like, that's weird. That we don't like that. And he kind of caught himself like, well, that is kind of weird. So I don't think we're going to see these, huge monumental fights, but I do think we'll see the biggest fighters in the world fighting. They just won't be in the toughest fights right away.
I think
I'm standing firm. I'm standing firm on economics. Again, even Adam and a guy like Keith Conley are gonna think twice. They're gonna say, "Well, wait a minute. You sent us an offer with 6 to 5 weeks short notice for $7 million. Now what? You're gonna give me less money because there's no tickets?" I'm telling you.
Yeah, of course.
And they won't take it.
Yeah,
they won't take it.
And then they're going to say, okay, well then fucking good luck in 2 years when you're not fighting. Like, that's what they're going to tell them.
But you're saying that to a dude.
But you're not going to be fighting. You're not going to be making money. Listen, I have been watching. I've been reading. You told us to go do our research. I did my research. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah,
I am listening to the client. I got my fingers on the pulse of what is going on backstage because I am pretty sure that TBV is going to break some pretty big news in the next couple weeks, and it's going to be based on who is putting up fights where. So I promise you, this is going to happen. These guys are going to fight because right now there's just too much unknown for them to stick their nose up at any sort of offers. You feel me?
I disagree with you. I think a guy like Adam could totally say no to an offer, especially when he doesn't fight for DAZN. Remember, this would
I respect that opinion. I do, and I appreciate.
In any realm.
Let me just finish my sentence. This would be a cross promotion, so they would be sending Adam an offer to come fight on DAZN, and if the offer doesn't make sense, and remember they already offered him $7 million when we didn't have a pandemic. Why would he get off his network? You know what I mean? So there is no fuck you to Adam because he's like, I don't want your offer. He still got PBC and Showtime right there giving him fights.
How much did he fight?
That's a good argument.
I don't think it's a big enough fight for AJ to take that fight in America. I really don't think so. I mean, yeah, he could fill up the Barclay and he could have good crowd show up, but I think AJ is a lot bigger in UK than Kownacki is in America, and for him to come down to America, I don't see where he would do necessarily better numbers. Try on the tickets where he could fill up a 90,000 up.
Let's remember this, right? If there is no audience and it is on DAZN, and DAZN is they rely on their subscription, and we are thirsty to see an event, right? I think that they might still get that Kownacki $7 million. I think that is still worth the amount of money that Kownacki was getting. Maybe AJ takes the cut, but the risk is lower for AJ versus Kownacki.
Now you talking my language.
I like that idea.
Because again, a guy like Adam, he'll just turn the offer down like, nah, man, I'd rather wait till tickets are back and we could capitalize on, like, that's your selling point, the fact that you could sell tickets. How you just going to brush that under the rug?
Also, now consider this. It's not going to be in an arena because the arena itself costs a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? To light it.
Exactly.
It's happening in studios.
The cruise is going to...
we're talking about Corona conditions.
It's going to happen like at a, not just saying as an example, like at a Gleason, the legendary Gleason gym or whatever legendary gym is in the UK.
Well, this is your business. Do you think that that's the easier thing to do, or is a studio setting easier to do?
Fixed studio, man.
Okay.
Fixed studio is easier to do, man. PBC could take it right back to when they first started. Everything that they got somewhere in a warehouse, because remember, they used to haul it around. It used to cost them $100,000 to haul from city to city. All that stuff is in a warehouse. Pull it back out. Put it in a studio set. You could go to fucking Georgia, anywhere in the South, get a bunch of land, a big open, facility like a gymnasium, one fixed studio, all the lights, everything. The whole PBC Boxing Champions hand from the top. Listen, Steve Marcano with Impact Network said that that's what they're going to do. They're going to Florida to build something.
Yeah, he said specifically the Orlando spots.
I heard baseball is going to do it in Arizona. Every team plays in Arizona.
We'll be talking about Florida and the fact that they're opening up for business somewhat. Look, that's one of my, desired locations to live. They've already opened the beach back. You get 4 hours a day on the beach. No one's gonna sit back and just lose money forever. You know what I'm saying? They'll take the necessary precautions, but people will find a way to make money during these times.
Yeah, man, they could rent this $2,000 studio. You know what I'm saying? 200,000 square feet warehouse.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
What's tough? Talk to us.
Trying to make things work in this pandemic. People are gonna try to get creative and stuff, but it's just I can see how lawfully at least people are gonna run into blockades.
Well, remember that Florida's already allowed WWE to be essential. That's why everybody's running to Florida now. They want that.
We actually
business.
have a really nice topic about that for later on. But yeah, I agree. I think that's where, look, it's the Wild West in Florida right now. Like, listen, if you didn't know, Florida, listen, this is what happened. Florida agreed to make WWE an essential business on Wednesday. And if you didn't know, on Tuesday, Linda McMahon, wife of Vince McMahon, who used to work, who's the only person that's still technically working for Donald Trump in his cabinet, she runs a super PAC that donated $25 million to Donald Trump. And you know how much of that went to Florida from the super PAC? $18 million. So it was a bribery, essentially, is what happened. I mean, I know that some people might look and think like, chill. But that's what happened. Though. It was a bribery. So Florida's open season now. They fucked themselves.
But 18 million ain't shit, man. Fighters are getting that for a purse. So, like, you know what I mean?
We're talking about politics. We're talking about politicians. We're talking about people that have to run
lobbyists.
Bro,
we're talking about campaigns where commercials for the Super Bowl cost $10, $15 million.
The truth of the matter is that don't nothing move without money, man. Like money is, everything, and we need it to keep this world moving properly.
Mayweather said it best just recently, right? If it ain't about the money, then what is it about?
Exactly, man. But AJ mentioned Usyk is the only guy on the list that I could care less for. Everyone else on the 6-name fight list was good. Usyk, I guess he gets in there.
He said I could care less.
No, I mean it's the truth. It's the truth.
Why such
because he doesn't deserve it yet. He hasn't done anything to be on that type of list. Like I hear Usyk. I hear AJ is probably like, like the whole eye test thing. Like he assumes he'll be there. I don't assume he'll make it. I'll have to be proven wrong.
Bro, I think Usyk could beat a Kownacki.
So do I. That's exactly, bro.
I don't think
that
so.
question I was about to ask him.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so. It's easy to say that now because Robert
got the hate beaming at my man Usyk.
Nah, it's easy to say because Robert Helenius did what he did, but obviously Robert has power. Usyk has none.
But the thing is, it's not even so much as like I'm seeing Usyk knocking him out and nothing like that. But Kownacki is kind of basic, bro.
Yeah, but if you can't hurt Kownacki, how you keeping him off you? That's the whole issue. We always knew Kownacki was come forward like that. We knew that.
Probably not gonna get a knockout. Probably, and I'm saying probably because the man's still filling into the heavyweight division. But outboxing Kownacki all day.
Champion
Adam
Kownacki.
Hold on. How does he stop him from getting to Usyk? Okay, but how do you catch Usyk if you're a Kownacki? Because I mean it's on the other side of a coin that we don't know and we can't answer. But I'm sorry, you can't just dismiss it by saying, well, we don't know enough about Usyk, so that makes Kownacki the winner because he's campaigned in the heavyweight division.
Nah, man. We know more about Usyk, enough about Usyk and more about Kownacki. We know he got power. We know it's more power than Chaz Teaspoon. You know what I mean? And if Teaspoon can land, Kownacki can land. Teaspoon doesn't throw the amount of punches or the velocity.
Teaspoon, believe it or not, was more athletic than Kownacki, bro. In movement, I'm not gonna say punch output because we all know Kownacki punches a lot more. But he's basic. My boy's basic, man. Usyk will love that fight. Stylistically, matchmakers, they hearing this right now. They salivating, bro.
They don't fight him. I promise they don't fight him. But I'll say this,
bruh. Matchmakers salivated and they never sent them an offer, and all the offers they sent to was old dudes, inactive dudes, and I don't even know how old Tyrone Sponge is, but How inactive is he?
Yo, that was a real dangerous fight in my opinion. When that shit came out, I was big on MMA and kickboxing.
Dangerous fight, my man. All his fights in Mexico, dog. He ain't been on that level. At least Usyk been on the level in the cruiserweight division. You can't tell me.
I'm talking about Tyrone.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. Tyrone ain't no dangerous fight. It was a good fight for us as hardcore. It wasn't no dangerous fight.
I mean, for the people who know Tyrone Sponge that are in the gyms, bro. Tyrone Sponge been boxing, bro. He been boxing.
He could be boxing all he want. He ain't been under them lights or in that level of competition that Usyk been under.
Hey, nah, but you lying because he been at K1 world titles tournaments and all, so he know what it is to be under the pressure.
I play Pop Warner football. That shit don't make me motherfucking Steve Young.
How you gonna say the motherfucking World Series of kickboxing is a fucking
no shit? That guy's a born striker. I don't care what you say.
Strike D's, man. Strike D's. Y'all talking this MMA shit.
Twin brother on the DL. You know what I'm saying?
I think you just got something about shoes and people without feet, because it's like anybody that don't wear shoes in a fight, like it's like, nah, fuck that sport.
Bro,
I swear to God, that's what he is. That's the way he is. He's always been like that. It's like, yo, if you're not wearing shoes in the ring, fuck off. I ain't watching
nah, bro. And you can't just wear shoes in the ring. You gotta have boxing shoes, bro. Get out of here with that.
Oh, that, yeah. I felt like that was obvious.
If I'm watching Kumite, I want to see Van Damme. Ain't nobody trying to watch that bullshit.
Yo,
I'm not gonna lie, not for nothing. I feel the same. I want to watch that shit too.
Chill, chat. Look, man, let's get back to Usyk and you disrespecting, but I don't know how long we want to stay on that.
Nah, we could definitely.
Let me just say this one thing, and y'all can take it. However, before we move on, I'll just say this one thing. If in a year's time, and this is outside of COVID, let's just say we're fighting tomorrow. In a year's time, if you told me that Usyk developed X amount of power that was like thought of to be dangerous versus Kownacki, you'd believe Usyk more. All I'm trying to say is that Kownaki's topped out. Usyk is still growing into this division. There's no telling where he's going to end up in terms of the power and speed and his ability to just, manifest inside that division.
Hey, yo, Mario, let's talk about what we already know, though. Let's keep it G. Like, we know that my man Usyk got enough power that if he tags you enough in combinations, he can hurt you.
Oh yeah.
Why he's a referee stoppage type
Did he
guy.
hurt? Did he hurt Teaspoon?
Huh?
Did he hurt Teaspoon?
I mean, he wasn't able to.
Did he hurt Michael Hunter? Did he hurt Michael Hunter? Like,
Michael Hunter's official though, man.
Michael Hunter is a dog.
So now every guy I mentioned, you're gonna have a reason why he didn't hurt him. I thought he had power.
No. I'm gonna say that he was very careful in the Chaz fight. I'm pretty sure that was something going into that.
How about you Usyk fans do me one favor, right? You Usyk fans do me one favor. Allow Usyk to be the topic. He's not even the topic. Like, AJ is got him on the bottom of the 6.
Yo, AJ gonna get tagged up again by Usyk.
I saw him. Well, yeah, I guess. Never mind. You're right. He was at the bottom.
Yo, I like to see that fight too. You think AJ, that's got a weird tear in your mind and shit. Like, yo, I lost to that dude. Like, damn. Like, he outboxed me and shit. Like, damn.
Got me on that one.
You saw how Andy
what's
was
this, a hypothetical? This is a hypothetical conversation in AJ's head of him losing to Usyk, because I'm lost.
No, I'm just telling you that would be an interesting fight too. And I think that, he possesses enough boxing IQ that when he faces you, and he wins, that could wear on you. I'm not saying that he would win. I'm just saying that his boxing skill is that good. He was able to beat AJ.
I hear you, man.
Back then, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of people would say, "Oh yeah, it's the amateurs." But some of the skills, even though it's fast-paced rounds, you get to see the skills, man. You get to see the skills. And if you give Usyk a lot of time in that division, give him a couple more fights, man, and you're gonna respect him.
Yeah, I agree with Ness that he should fight White, or he should put his name in that list.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna fight a UK fight, you already put Tyson Fury in there. That's big as hell. I guess Usyk is bigger than White on paper, but White is bigger than Usyk in the UK in everyone's house. So, like, that being said, let's shift gears, popping the Fast and the Furious clutch to Bob Arum and the interview that he conducted with us. Hour and a half. Check it out on our Patreon page, free of ads, obviously. And Arum cleared up some stuff. Obviously, Lomachenko had been in the news stating that, in his own interview, he kind of said he he felt like New York was more of a Teofimo's hometown, but Bob Arum said, that's ridiculous. Lomachenko's been fighting there forever. And he also called bull crap on Teofimo, saying that the holdup is Lomachenko wanting $7 to $8 million. That being said, yeah, man, I mean, what do you guys think?
I thought I was following the news in the beginning. I was believing Teofimo, and then I was calling Lomachenko a duck. But as we all know, this crisis that's going on in New York and globally, Bob made it very clear, and it would be obvious to know the same thing. The man lives in the Ukraine and just broke out to the Ukraine, and everything is put to a halt. So is that fight next is what I'm still wondering. Is that fight still next?
Yeah, well, listen, before I go into my spiel, I just want to say that if you're listening to this a week late, please sign up to Patreon, join our movement for TBV. It's boxingvoice.com/Patreon. Wait, reverse that, my bad.
Patreon.com/The Boxing Voice.
Perfect, thank you. I said it backwards. We got ad-free MP3s for y'all. We're ripping up every single piece of audio. Shout out to Ness for doing it for me and everyone else with Friday's show where we had Keith Thurman and Bob Arum. And we're doing stuff every day, film study Tuesdays, Untitled Mondays. We have Freestyle Fridays. Not sure if we have anything for that yet. And Border War shows, everything. So just check out patreon.com, sign up. But look, I can tell you this. I had been waiting for sort of the Lomachenko Teofimo news to get settled, to get definite before I started, talking about what that meant for him supposedly ducking Devin Haney. And then once this news came out, it was like, I don't think I have a leg to stand on anymore. I was actually kind of glad I never said anything about it. But then we have Bob coming on, and essentially this seems like, Teofimo might have been a little over enthusiastic or maybe too anxious and kind of jumped the gun. From Bob's point of view, this is all a case of coronavirus. He was here, and I had mentioned that he had came to the United States ready for the fight, and everything happened, and he got basically sent away is essentially what happened because the gym closed down. So I don't know. I think that at this point I can say, let's chill. Let's not label Loma the duck yet. Now, if you already had labeled him before, well, then I can't really, rock out with that or have no defense for that. But at this point, the fight to me is going to happen. I am sure it's going to happen. There's no way it doesn't.
It's crazy because you got my man Devin agitating, with what he said or whatnot. I know we're gonna jump into that later, but it's just crazy how he's really chasing that fight too. I wonder what's really going on. I wonder if Bob was just trying to cover tracks, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he ain't say that, nah, because fair point. Obviously something's holding it up, man. It's usually about about the money. I mean, I don't think they're arguing about who's selling hot dogs outside. You know what I mean? Like, Vasil exercised, his opinion that he didn't think that, I guess, Barkley was good. I didn't even know if that was something he actually said or it was solid. Did he really say that?
Like, he actually told that to us live on air that he had also heard to him that it was an issue for Lomo to have that fight on his home. I don't know if Lomachenko used those words though to say that it was Teofimo's home turf, but Teofimo certainly insinuated that Lomachenko was having issues with it being in New York.
And is there a possibility where like Vasil can say, you know what, I don't want to fight Teo, and say I'm fighting Haney? Is in a crazy world, can something like that happen?
I don't see it. I don't.
Absolutely.
How does that happen? How does that slip between Bob's fingers there?
Listen, if Lomachenko and Teofimo can't come to an agreement, he could absolutely do that. If he can't come to an agreement with Teofimo,
okay,
he's gonna move on.
I thought the question more was like, would there be a way that he choose one over the other? Not necessarily like, oh, plans fell apart, let's move on.
No,
next case scenario.
Yeah, well, I could just drag out the negotiation, wait for him to get frustrated, and then just let Teo fight somebody else, and Vasil picks whoever the hell he wants. I think you gotta just. I don't know, man. I think it still gets a little touchy. I think the way people talk on the social media too. I wonder if egos comes into play with this. Maybe we're thinking money, but it's really egos. Yeah. But I mean, either fight that I got, I would love. Obviously, I want my Honduran champion to conquer. So I'm really expecting this to happen.
Yo, I just looked up Teofimo's box rec just to see how many times he fought in Madison Square Garden. He has 15 fights, and 6 of those 15 were in Madison Square Garden. I don't know if it was the big room or the theater. I mean, the big room or the theater, yeah. And Lomachenko, 14 fights, and he's fought 4 times in Madison Square Garden. So it is really... And this is no reason why. I mean, this is more news to be like, yo, fighting for the hometown, fighting for the territory, add to the story. There is no reason for him to say, other than Teofimo is from Brooklyn, that is his home.
Yeah, but it's unfair.
Advantage.
Teofimo was born in Brooklyn, moved to Florida, raised in Florida, moved to Vegas, living in Vegas. It's just like
claim Brooklyn. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's just not enough for me to be. Look, I understand when people talk about UK fights, and I don't know if that's as prevalent as it used to be. I remember being in high school and middle school, and people talking all the time. I ain't going to the UK. I ain't going to the UK, and we don't hear that talk as much these days. But that said, this is not the same type of situation. It's not Lomachenko's not, flying across the water to fight somebody in their home country. That's not this at all. Like, I'm not saying that Brooklyn wouldn't show up for Teofimo. All I'm saying is that, this is a situation where you both fought on those grounds and you've both done well with the crowds. Go and settle the score. That to me, it's the place I always thought it'd be.
I don't think that Teofimo has the Brooklyn crowd yet. He may have the hardcore boxing fans, but he doesn't have like Keith Thurman or a Charlo or Danny Garcia fighting in the Barclay where all of Brooklyn shows up, and Philly because it's right there. So I don't think Teofimo has that yet. You know what I mean? I just learned he's from New York.
Is it enough for him to beat Lomachenko to win him all over?
What do you mean? Say that one
if
more
he
time.
were to beat Lomachenko in New York, does he win over the Brooklyn crowd?
I don't say the Brooklyn crowd. He definitely wins over the fans. He definitely then, in front of all these people say, hey, I'm from New York, and then he'll win New York.
Gotcha.
I mean, like he's fought in Madison Square a couple times. I think it's unfair for you to say that, Cash, that he don't got the moxie to bring the people out. Let's go back on
he brings the hardcores out. He doesn't bring Brooklyn out yet.
Like the way Cotto used to with the Puerto Rican crowd.
Yo, isn't it funny to see? I know people can't notice, but like, look how funny it is. Alex's Honduran bias coming out. Like, he's the only one protecting Teofimo.
Yo, I'm riding for Teofimo.
No, I know, but he's like, it's unfair for you to say that, and it's like, yo, he's Honduran. Now, this is something that gets overlooked, like, because normally it's like, oh, Mexican always picks the Mexican fighter, and look how it is. It's like he's riding for his Honduran brother.
But on this, like, he's fought. Let's get at some numbers. Like, he's fought in Madison Square Garden at least 4 times. Like, I'm pretty sure
he fought 5 times out of 15, and Lomachenko fought 4 times out of 14.
So it's like
he's one up.
Ticket sales, like I would go to the ticket sales and see how many they did at the gate before I said that he wasn't able to pull out more than just the hardcore.
Well, what I would say is this. What we should look up is if he, and I would do it as I'm talking, is Teofimo fighting in the big room as the main event. You know what I mean? He fought Richard Comey, and the event was in Madison Square Garden. Doesn't say if it's the theater or not. So the theater, that's the small room. And
the theater was with Daniel Bastian. I think he fought in the big room for the rest of the fights. He fought in the theater one time early in the career.
I mean, big names still fighting.
Maybe not. Mason Menard too. He fought in the theater.
But remember, bro, he wasn't headlining. Like, he ain't no headline.
Yeah. He was headlining for Richard Comey though, right?
He was. Yes, he was.
That's an undercard, wasn't it?
It was
headline. They were the headline.
But it was then at that point it's in the theater. Cause,
I think the Masayoshi Nakatani. That was I think.
They were the main event. But that card there was no names on that card. That definitely was in the theater. You know, I could tell. I think
Shakur was on that one. No?
Nah, he wasn't.
No? Okay.
One thing I always go back. Oh, wait a minute.
That's what I thought Shakur and Joette. Where was that at?
Wait, Terrence Crawford was on that card too, actually.
Damn, how far back was that?
It was this December.
Oh.
2019, right when he fought.
But Terrence Crawford wouldn't fight under Teofimo.
Nah.
Richard Comey. No, that was the card.
What you called them, bait and lobster?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah, crab and lobster. I told y'all that wasn't. I said it was the undercard.
You're right. You're right.
Well, yeah. Were you saying that's because you kept dropping?
I said I told y'all he was the undercard. Y'all ain't listen. He ain't no main event yet, man.
Nah, he's not a main event. But if he gets that win over Loma, he definitely will become a star.
Yeah.
That would be a main event in its own.
Of course.
That's because there's Lomachenko.
Should have been a main event.
That would be.
The thing I go back to now is like all these fights.
How you gonna say Comey should have been a main event? He tried to slick that in there. Comey's from Ghana, bro. Don't nobody know him.
Yeah, I guess I'm a hardcore.
Yo, everybody
that
in Ghana
fight was way better. That fight was way better.
No, I hear you. But like, you gotta have a fan base. How you gonna be? How you gonna be a main event? No fan base.
Ghana holding that.
You're right. It wasn't even like a comment on the numbers or the economics of it. It was just more of like, damn, I can't believe they weren't the main event versus what the actual main event was.
So you taking shots at Crab and Lobster and Terrence Crawford?
I'm
sure. I'll take a shot at that in the sense that I really, really wanted Teofimo Comey, and that really was to me the main event that night. But I'm not going to call Terrence Crawford not a star, or I'm not going to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they happen to be in a better matchup. You know, I think Mayweather should be the opening fucking fight if he fought the kickboxer. Like if he fought the kickboxer in American soil, he could be like on the untelevised undercard. I wouldn't give a shit.
If you were to say that while Bob Arum was here on Friday, he would say, "Well, Mario, Terrence Crawford is the moneymaker at this point, and I'm the promoter, and I wind him up that way. And that's why you're Mario Munguia."
Stupid. Yeah, and he would have, and then he would have insulted me, and I would have been like, "All right, next question."
Not for nothing. Like, you know, I think if Loma dodges this fight, he's gonna really look like a duck either way. So this shit happening.
Dodges which fight?
Teofimo.
So you think there's a world? You think there's a world where Loma could be ducking Teofimo?
Not just ducking them, but saying, yo, you know what? I don't want to give you the opportunity. I don't like the way you negotiate, and I'm gonna just be a diva. I'm Vasil Lomachenko.
I don't like the way you talk.
Chances to whoever I want to give the chances to. You know
he said that before. That he talks too much. Teofimo's a kid. He talks too much. So, all right, moving on to Kevin Cunningham. Camp Cunningham open for business. They're supposed to reopen their gym on Monday. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Obviously, we spoke a little bit about Florida and how their social distancing rules and guidelines are slightly different and how they are allowing the WWE to do business. And because of that, Coach Cunningham's found himself a loophole, and he's opening up for business on Monday, which means fighters who are quarantined can come down to Camp Cunningham, where you have the full facility, a one-stop package, similar to what I was saying Canelo and Reynoso offer. You know, you get to relocate to West Palm. You get to stay in a nice, for Florida, it's a baby mansion. You know, you get the chef on call. The facility is private. And then you have the elite level trainer in Kevin Cunningham. What are your guys' thoughts? Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Real quick, let me read the quotes, and then whoever do me or Cash can go first. So this is Cunningham's South Florida-based camp, as Ness had alluded to. And this is based off of Governor Ron DeSantis's decision to make WWE an essential business, World Wrestling Entertainment. He said, the governor has given professional sports and athletes the green light to go back to work in Florida. My gym is a private gym for professional fighters, so we meet the essential services criteria. Camp Cunningham Gym will be open Monday. I can't wait to get my guys back to work. And that's what he told BoxingScene.com's Ryan Burton.
Good or bad thing, Cash?
I'm going to say you may be thinking of it as like what it used to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something new. It's still open. It's good for the fighters to get back in tip-top shape and maybe get some sparring in. So I would say good, if they're following the rules, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a capacity. It's not like open to whoever just comes in.
I mean, if they're giving the green light at the beach, there's going to be mad people at the beach.
Yeah, but the green light at the beach is a 4-hour limit, right? There's still rules. There's a new rule, right?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about more contact. How close you can be and stuff like that. Pretty much, shout out to Camp Cunningham. Kevin Cunningham has been so good to the Boxing Voice. He's allowed us to, hold the Border Wars event. He was actually the referee at one of them, and pretty damn good. So going out there, when we looked at the house, and we were like it was at the infancy of its startup. I could imagine how nice it is now. If you're in the camp, you get a family feel. It's like, if you're there, I'm pretty sure that, Kevin's going to make sure that everybody's, health is right before he puts everybody together in the house. Obviously, he stays in contact with his fighters or whatnot. But, just the facility too, man, the ring, the open, they open that big ass garage and it's just a lot of good air, good energy, man. I think it's great. I think that a lot of the fighters and coaches are antsy to get back in there and start working, making sure that nobody gets, diluted or whatever, starts watering down, getting chubby, getting rusty.
Remember that.
I don't want to. Oh, go ahead, Ness. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, remember in that camp, we've seen footage of Erickson Lubin, Tony Harrison, Gervonta Davis, Adrian Broner, all doing, strength and conditioning work in the beach, which is now open for business for 4 hours a day. So that's another thing that you get for going out to Florida, you know what I mean? You still have the beach. You still have the beach, the open air, and the sand work. It's a lot tougher to run in sand and more extensive workout.
Look, I'll put it this way, okay? Whether it's a good or bad thing, it's not a bad thing for all or a good thing for all. It's going to be bad or good depending on who you are. And in this situation, if you're Kevin Cunningham, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to get your fighters back to work. It's a great thing. It starts to normalize things for the fight fans, and that's the first step of this process. We're going to have guys go back to training, then we're going to have an announcement for a fight, then we're going to have a fight without people in it, and then we're going to have more training camps, more fights without people, without crowds, and then eventually at some point we're going to have that ultimate last final test, which is a 10,000 person seat arena, whatever. I think though it's bad for the governor of Florida. He opened this can of worms. Let somebody in that camp come back with coronavirus. It's not on Kevin Cunningham. The blood is on the governor's hands of Florida. So I don't blame Kevin at all. I don't blame him at all. Not even in a little bit. He's absolutely right. The governor has opened this up to essential services being this broad term that can kind of loophole people in. And I don't blame Kevin for wanting to get his fighters right. That's his job.
But Mario,
it's the job of Florida to make sure that these guys are protected. And if the Olympic Center's not open, then, how are they going to protect is what all I'm trying to say.
I'm on the emergency alert, Florida's COVID rules, and the last date was the 10th of April, and it says avoid close contact with people who are sick, avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth, stay home when you are sick, cover if you're sneezing, clean and disinfect.
A lot of that says when you're sick, though.
Yeah, but
that also matches the national voice of it.
Yeah, too. Wash your hands often, and in the gym, if you go with the asymptomatic, where you now are able to test to find out if you are asymptomatic, which means that you don't have a symptom, but you will transmit the virus. You don't know, man. Working out in the gym could get another person sick.
Yo, that sweat, you spawn, you lean in on the body shots.
Yeah.
You know, you in the
you
corner
wipe your
working.
face with your sweat.
Yo,
Nah, a little trick when it's not like you're trying to do that shit all the time, but like when I used to do jujitsu and all that shit, you get sweaty and shit, and all that fucking sweat exchange. That shit sometimes is nasty, but like most of it gets soaked in by your gi. But a trick I learned back then was like my sensei would tell me to put baby oil on. And like when the sweat is hitting you, it slides off and shit.
Right, but that's bad for your skin when you sweat blocks you. I was playing basketball with my son, and if he wasn't my son, right, he was sweating. We both sweating. He went for a jump shot. I went to block it. Sweat hit me inside my lip.
Like a long time poly. Like a long poly when that dude just rubs against your
like,
yo, I remember a movie like that.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
It hit me inside of my lip.
I feel you. Damn.
Man, that shit was salty.
But he ain't gonna be letting him spar. He can't let him spar.
You know it was salty,
hit somebody in the. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, Kaz. You know it was salty.
Oh yeah, I bet it was. Shit. Listen, I guarantee he doesn't let him spar. I mean, because with sparring, you can hit somebody in the nose. Right, you hit somebody in the nose, go back to your corner, kind of wipe your shit with your glove, like, boom. That's it. It's as simple as that, and that's stuff you do a million times in the gym. That it's like you can't even keep track of that. So I doubt he's letting them spar. It's probably just a place where they're gonna go and be able to get free, workouts to get themselves ready, just stay ready, and so.
I mean, you could do the basic boxing work with a coach. Instead of being in your garage, you could still do your jump rope, your shadow boxing, your heavy bag, your pad work, drills, strength and conditioning on the beach, runs, work with a team, still being socially distancing. But I'm going to be the opposite of all of y'all. I'm going to think that it's a step in the right direction. Because I swear it's only been a month and I feel like it's been 6 months. Like a lot of my favorite shit isn't essential. Like sushi's not essential, evidently. So, there's a lot of shit you can't do. Like somehow movies aren't essential. That's essential to me. Like I was going to movies every week. I love movies. This is some bullshit. Like I'm stuck in a house all the time now. There's, like me and my girl just take drives for no reason, nowhere. Just to get out. So, what I mean? Like, I am happy to hear that someone is moving forward. It's like bittersweet because, I had a life plan for myself. I was supposed to be in Florida at least like a year ago. So it's kind of sucks that the state I should be living in is already progressing in terms of, this whole thing.
You think the theaters are open in Florida?
I mean, I ain't going that far, but the beaches being open, that's good enough. The parks are closed here, man.
They're open for only
for 4
a window
hours.
of time.
For 4 hours. But, bro, the parks are closed here forever. There ain't no window for us.
Well, until at least the minimum of May 15th. Further notice. May 15th, yeah.
All right, and that's what I'm saying. At least they got 4 hours. Like, they treating us like... You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to feel like it's fucking Judgment Day or something, man. Terminator and shit. Like, I don't want to be locked in.
He said Judge Dredd.
Bruh, I want specific Raisin Bran. Obviously, it's not Raisin Bran, but it's like the fake Raisin Bran from Walmart. I prefer that over Raisin Bran. It's crunchier.
Yo, I'll send y'all.
Have you seen
what
a
are you
Walmart?
saying, though?
Can't get it.
I'm about to tell you.
Just getting like real antsy and shit. It's
Yeah,
like
no, you
starting to
can't get it because have you seen a Walmart line? Bro,
yeah.
I seen I had to wake up at 7:30. Well, not wake up at 7:30. I was up earlier than that, but like we was out the house by 7:30 just to be able to get some meat at the meat market. Like this shit is getting corny, man.
Bro, nobody's gonna even tell me. I eat the weirdest shit. Like Dr. Pepper 10s. You go into a store and you try to find them. They're not easy to find on a regular, like non-COVID
Never heard of
times.
that.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then chocolate Chex Mix. Like, yo, there's so many things I cannot get when we go to the grocery store. And still somehow my wife's spending $200. Fucking crazy. But like at the end of the day, I get what you're saying. In fact, I'm gonna send y'all all an interview I saw this weekend. Yo, they interviewed this dude on CNN. I think he was a doctor, but he has COVID, right? And so, or no, I think he has HIV. So he's been like just deuced out for like 2 months, bro. This interview, his eyes were just like going back and forth. He's like, I can't take it. I don't know what to do. I think I'm getting pretty like, yo, it was like you were watching this dude having a breakdown. It was nuts. And they were showing it live on TV like it was nothing. So I feel where you're coming from. I'm not there yet, but I'm not gonna lie. Like,
what about people who are running out of money though?
Oh hell yeah.
That's another thing, man. Like so many jobs, like regular jobs are shut down that it's like,
damn.
Bruh, what are people doing? Like, what are people doing? You know what I mean? Like, thank God McDonald's but I look at fast food and I'm like, bruh, that's like COVID waiting to happen. They putting up plexiglass.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck is plexiglass?
They put that up at our 7-Elevens.
And it's at the supermarkets. It's at the but how is plexiglass protecting us? And then it got giant holes to stick your hands through.
Fuck out that just went like all over that shit. Like, so I get what you're saying. Like, I get how it's supposed to protect theoretically, but in reality, like, what kind of dipshits are going in there and just like sneezing and shit?
Yo, listen, even Bud Crawford said, like, his state ain't like this. They not on, like, I feel like martial law, man. All I'm waiting for is to hear troops just jogging down the street. Cause I'm like,
jets.
You know, like, I feel a little bit bad that I'm not working out because I guess that would make me feel different. I could go for runs, but it's kind of chilly out here, man.
Well, we got Untitled tomorrow, so definitely all this stuff could definitely go for Untitled tomorrow.
Speaking of, I want to do a quick recommend. Timestamp is 7:55. We've been into the show about 55 minutes and 34 seconds. I'm recommending... I drew a quick little weed blank right there. Let me see. I'm recommending The Rain. The Rain on Netflix. We could talk about it tomorrow on Untitled. You already know. But listen, you know my recommends are crazy. And this is a binge.
I don't know about that.
This man, you get out of here. This binge worthy. You ain't never recommend nothing. Bring your own recommends to Untitled tomorrow.
Code 8's pretty good. Code 8's pretty
good. Code 8's pretty good. Black Mirror. I recommended Black Mirror. People still talk about that every episode. So I don't know what he talking about.
Mirror is
what have you recommended?
I recommended Tiger King.
Man, get the freak out of here. You ain't recommend Tiger King.
I try to get that credit.
He did give it he was the first person to give it its approval, so
he ain't recommended though.
Yo, Ozark is I can't wait.
That's old news though. You old, that's old Netflix. Like you
the third season just came out.
I hear you, but that's not a recommend. Like that's the third season. Like
yeah, it don't matter. You know how people right now binge watching, man.
No, I hear you. All I'm saying is all I meant by that is like people should
You'd already heard of it.
Yeah, people should know about Ozark already. Like, maybe you heard of the Rain.
Yo, my bad, Reek, man. I'm just going to tell you about something I tried to watch. I mean, I'm at the, like, almost end of the season. Y'all remember Smallville, right? Or not even Smallville.
Yeah. I love Smallville. I love Smallville.
Smallville's my shit. Nah, but... I got the wrong actors. I meant the other Superman, the new Superman that fought Ben Affleck.
Oh,
okay, Henry Cavill, the movie.
Yeah, Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Yeah, so he got this show called The Witcher.
Love it.
Oh yeah, The Witcher. Yeah. Dope. It's fire.
Yo, y'all saw the whole season already?
Nah, yeah. I got 2 more episodes.
I'm pretty sure. Well,
that's what I'm waiting on right now. I think I got like 2 more episodes, but like. I want to see where it's going because the fucking.
No,
I'm just gonna.
Awesome.
Well,
it's awesome.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
I felt like it was a low budget.
You're gonna see that and you're gonna be like, "Yo, I can't wait for next season."
If you're into like Game of Thrones and Spartacus,
that's what I started.
No, stay in there. There's
this show I saw the trailer of yesterday. It was called Black as Fuck, something like that. Or Black.
I seen that. It's like yellow letters. It don't say fuck. It don't literally spell the word fuck.
AF.
Yeah. I haven't seen the trailer, but it's come across my life already.
I saw the trailer. I think I'm gonna watch that. I saw Puerto Ricans in Paris yesterday.
Ooh,
I'm hard.
What was that on?
Netflix.
Yo, y'all with that Casa de Papel?
Yeah, man. Money Heist. Stop trying to change the name up for people. Money Heist. Everybody knows it as Money Heist, bro.
Yeah, I saw it as Money Heist. That's why
English subtitles.
Yo, Mitty was talking about that in the chat.
Yeah.
I heard that. Some people saying that's good.
You ain't watched Money Heist yet?
Nah, I haven't seen
y'all
it.
Slipping.
It's been on my.
Or is it episodic?
Bro, that shit is binge worthy. That's binge worthy. They got like 3-4 seasons already. That's That's worth sitting down and watching.
I remember I tried to start watching it a while back, but I was watching another one, so it kind of
He ain't even finished the book, man. Hurry up, bro. We trying to get Adrian on this show.
I told you I got 30 pages left.
Where you at, Mario?
Yo, look, I got mine. I got mine today.
At the top of the book, at the top of the page.
Well, I got it yesterday, but I didn't check it till today.
At the top of the page, it says the category. The category.
Yeah, I'm already at past the fighters. I think I'm just getting past the last fighter he had on there.
Nah, man, you just in the beginning. If you only have fighters, ain't you?
Bro, how you gonna tell me in the beginning? I'm in page 90 something. You cornball.
Bro, 90 something is like halfway mark.
There's a movie out. It's old. It's called White Boy Rick. You ever heard of it?
Hell yeah, man. Come on, man. Come on, from Detroit with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Come on, yo, Cash, get out of here, bro. That's what I'm telling you. I'm mad COVID got the movie shut down. White Boy Rick Bing came out. That's
I
fire.
know, but I was trying to segue. I thought you would segue into Devin Haney or something.
Oh, I get it.
But why? White Boy Rick wasn't racist?
Nah, but just white boy.
White boy.
You know, you get it. I
get you. You should have. Yo, when you got a punchline like that, you got to run with it, Captain. Stop acting like you don't. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you could have did your first rendition of 36 Chambers right there. All of them was lead singers. They just came together as a group, right? But anyway, let's move on to what Casual is talking about. We're talking Devin Haney. What happened here? Where I'm at? Here we go. Devin Haney said some things that I guess in this generation, 2020, cannot be said. But I only follow boxing. I'm boxing.
Froze up.
Oh shit!
In this generation, 2020,
you hear me?
I don't see him. But I was looking at it like this, man. People are looking at it as white boy being a derogatory term. Wrong.
Say it again, Cash.
I was saying, go ahead.
There we go.
I was saying, what was the last thing I was saying?
You said in this generation, 2020.
Yeah, in this generation in 2020, it's like people, you know, he can't say what he said, but I only follow boxing, so to me it wasn't a big deal because B-Hop did this already. B-Hop said this exact same thing to Joe Kownacki. So Devin said this exact same quote about Vasyl Lomachenko. And then later came out and said, I'm not a racist and I will never be a racist. I'm chasing greatness. Hashtag undefeated. And he put a picture of him and Floyd side by side. And you know, look, people aren't going to like me because they usually want me to jump on these racist topics a lot more. But that's about it for me. Like, do I believe that if Luke Campbell or Vasyl ever came out and said, no way I lose to a black boy, yeah, that's racist. And people are going to flip out. There's double standards in life, ladies and gentlemen. We know that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We know that. Women experience it every day. So, you know, for everybody that is like, oh, this is some bullshit. This guy's terrible. You guys are horrible. He should be crucified. It's like, it is a double standard.
When you got the camera on you, this is what happens. It happened to fucking Billy Saunders. I'm not comparing the two incidents because it's totally different. But when you're under the fucking camera, the limelight, come on, champ. And look, man, I don't know. At the end of the day, you know me, I get to thinking deeply into things, and it's like, is that something that he just did like as like a jab, like some marketing, something that he needed to do in order to get Vasyl's attention? But at the end of the day, you're on, you represent America, you know, the democracy of this world. You know what I'm saying? We send that torch all over the world, and when you're on the camera and you say something like that, you bring race. It's a racist comment. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not.
I disagree with you.
No.
Everyday talk. You hear it all day. You hear people say people of color. You hear people say black people and brown people. You know, white boy is just a term. And it might.
So black boy is a term then.
Black Boy.
No, it's not. No, Black Boy is not a term, and it has a term that racist people use, and it has a long-standing, background with racism. White boy isn't a like we use white boy. Hold on. I'm a 80s baby. I came up on White Man Can't Jump. I came up playing on the court. That's what you caught on the court.
But that's a problem too, though. That's a problem.
That's why I brought up White Boy.
That's what I'm trying to say. Look. We have been conditioned as a people, and I'm not talking black or white. I'm talking everybody conditioned as a people to accept misogyny, racism, bigotry, all that shit on a daily. Okay, so it was never cool back then. It was degrading, and you know what it led to? It led to fucking.
There's a movie called White. There's a movie called White Man Can't Jump.
I feel you, but I'm trying to
White
tell
Boy
you
Rick.
Yeah, but Enrique, Hollywood, you can get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah. Listen. This is the main point I want to make. Okay. I get the uproar. I do understand it because it's like to point it out. Like, first of all, it is necessary to a degree. I don't think people had to jump on him the way they did. That was completely uncalled for. But also at the same time, it's necessary to keep it in check so that the next time it happens, like we keep these things kind of like coded, you know what I mean? Like on a file system, like, oh, remember he said it. Because we didn't do the same thing with B-Hop. So that was a good point.
What was it?
We didn't do the same thing with Locker Room Talk type shit, right?
Exactly. Twitter wasn't around.
My man, you're right. But see, in this kind of situation, Devin Haney, look, if you would know anything about him, that kid ain't racist. He don't got no problems with people. Does he need maybe some help, with what's it called? Public relations? Yeah, he needs some PR help probably, but he doesn't need to be criticized and put on this crucifix because he made this not really thought out comment in 2019, which by the way is full of shit. Look, what happened with Kevin Hart, that was bullshit, but what happened with I had a good one. I was going to say that was a good one. Fuck, I can't remember. Oh well, but this is the exact same kind of situation where you're taking things to a certain context and you're bringing them to a certain level. With Kevin Hart, it was worse because these were comments he made years ago. With Devin Haney, it's a little different. So look, we don't have to crucify him at all. But at the same time, we all need to recognize that 2019 brought about this shift, this cultural shift, and it's been going on in colleges. Look, these kids are very sensitive. I'm not going to lie. They are very sensitive. And so, the game has changed and calling people, white boy, I'll never lose to white boy, saying, oh, I'm going to fry this yellow, whatever he said about Pacquiao.
Not for a second. Mario, not for a second do I believe that Devin's a racist. He's not a racist. He was probably hyped up before he punched that in, and he's like, yeah, I never lose to Vasila. But like at the end of the day, what I liked about Devin is that he owned up to what he said. He came out publicly, said, I'm not a racist. I'm pretty sure that he had a conversation, I think was in the media that I read with WBC, Mauricio Suleiman. And these things sometimes happen when you're a fucking a sport figure, especially because sports stars really, really are under the gun when it comes to media and what their behavior is outside of their sport. But at the end of the day, it wasn't something that, like, I'm seeing some of the comments and stuff on Twitter and other places.
Watch how land I'll shut down when you and Doom.
I know you're gonna come with the knowledge. He's gonna break down the word racism.
No, I'm not gonna break down the word. What's the difference?
Go ahead.
What's the difference between saying white? First of all, boxing is racially driven sport.
Yes.
It's culturally driven. The Puerto Rican versus the Mexican. The white
culturally
versus
is
black.
Different words. Like, what do you mean? Like,
still get a racial beatdown, man. You get a Mexican beatdown if a Mexican beat you up. A Puerto Rican beats you up, you got beat up by the Puerto Rican. When a black man's lying helpless, bleeding on the ground because a slave master beat his ass way back in the day for no reason because he owned him, put ownership on him. That's the reason why Devin Haney culturally says I ain't getting beat by no white boy. So it could be defending anyway.
So Cass,
you gotta let them talk, man. Y'all can't cut each other off because you canceling the mic. Let them finish.
Haney will have social critics because of some can relate. can't relate, rather. And many can relate what he's saying. Although Lomachenko has nothing to do with the history, but his ancestors probably had. That's why we heard.
Yeah, but that's your interpretation, though.
Let me jump in real quick because I didn't want to cut you off, Enrique. But you got a lot off right now off your chest.
What I'm saying, right? That saying white boy is a racial and ethnic term. It's a metaphor based solely on human skin.
So he said that no white boy can beat me. Man. Yeah, is that he said a lot, but I get the point already, what you're trying to drive. But to me, I'm curious.
It's not up to you to decide when his point is done. So stop cutting him off. Let him finish, because you cancel his mic out.
People heard me. That's all. I just had my point.
See, I didn't even hear that. Y'all can't, like, both can't talk at the same time. Cancels out.
Got you. Go ahead, Dewey.
All right. So, like I was saying, it's crazy how you know. How is it that he can say, okay, 10 out of fight a white boy 10 times I win, right? So it's like, how is it not a racist comment? You know what I'm saying? When he didn't say that. So he's saying that he can only lose to a white boy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say brown boy. He didn't say anything else. He said white boy. So it's like, where do you not see the race?
We're saying that white people are less than.
Yeah, like
they can't beat him ever. If there's no white boy that could ever beat him, then white people are less than. And by the way, I took it different.
And that's why we got the movie White Man Can't Jump.
Yo,
y'all
might want to hit the eject button.
I don't know what you. Like I'm with Enrique, yo. I guess I'm. Hear me out. Okay. I guess society.
I got after you.
Hear me out. I guess society has just raised me a certain way, bro. But Caleb Plant and Tyson Fury, that's why we talk about them the way we do. It's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, they got sold. Like, wow, that's not normal. Like, even on the court, like Steve Kerr never looked like Michael Jordan. Like, like Kobe Bryant. I mean,
Muggsy Bogues never looked like Michael Jordan. Like, you feel me?
Nah,
like, look, I'm gonna put it to you like
Muggsy Bogues brought the rock up better than Steve Kerr, though, right?
I wasn't comparing him to Steve Kerr. I was comparing him to Michael Jordan like you were. But look, at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to say. Okay, white boy to me, see, when I heard it, I kind of took it as like white boy, like no corny motherfucker's going to take me in. And the reason why I felt that way is because, growing up, people used to call me white boy when they were trying to diss me. Like when they were trying to say shit, they're like, oh man, shut the fuck up, white boy. And it was like, I know what they were saying.
Your defense, though? You were like, yo, I'm Mexican. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was it. And as I got older,
well, you're gonna say what you are. You're not gonna say.
I'm like, bro, I'm Mexican. What are you talking about? Man, shut the fuck up, you're white boy. Because where I'm from, like Mexicans look Mexican, like dark. Well, I shouldn't even say that because actually, real Mexicans are light skinned. They got green eyes, beautiful. The darker Mexicans are like more up north, closer to the border. Beautiful too, just in a different way. But I don't look like them. I don't look like either of them, really. Maybe that's why I got the mustache so that y'all could tell me apart. But at the end of the day, I know what it was supposed to mean. It was supposed to be derogatory. When they called me white boy, they were saying, you fucking nerd, you clown, you bitch. And I was, in elementary, middle school at the time. I didn't realize, like, they weren't just dissing me. They were dissing white people. Like, I didn't look at it back then like that because I really didn't give a shit back then. So when I hear somebody say, oh, I ain't going to lose this white boy, it to me, it sounds like a diss. It sounds like you're saying white people are less than. You know what I mean? And so I can't rock with that. But
I think he's saying that in boxing, though. I think he's saying that in boxing. Just like
not a good idea to say it though.
Just like in most sports, like
or anything else.
Listen,
boxing, right?
In most sports, man, like look, white boys is good at throwing the ball, so they might be like quarterbacks and shit like that. But you don't see them being running backs. Like, let's just be real. Why we acting like it's some fake? Like we're. I don't watch those sports, but I haven't seen. Hold on. Okay. I haven't seen the Caleb Plant of football yet in the backfield. Like he hasn't popped out on the radar. You know what I'm saying? Like where is that?
Listen, the reason why that's bad to even classify like white people or black people, like you're right. I'm not gonna front. Black people are some of the most amazing.
You just said black people.
Race. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was about to say the black race is responsible for one of the most incredible, some of the most incredible athletic moments in the history of my life. But they're also, but I'm not going to pigeonhole them like that. You feel me? Because they're responsible for much more than everything else. So to sit here and say, oh, well, white boys are good at throwing the ball, so they should be well, what the fuck about black quarterbacks then? Because I'll tell you, I'm much more impressed with the black quarterbacks that I see than I have been the white quarterbacks that I've seen the last few years. And it's not a race thing. It's an athletic thing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. No, I'm with you, Mario. That's what I'm saying. Like, white boys are not athletic as Hispanics.
Yo, Tom Brady, champ. Come on, champ.
Yeah, and that's what but look, that's what I said. Quarterback. That's their job. Like, normally you see them as quarterbacks. That's what I said.
Champ.
Yo, quarterbacks in golf. Keep it real, like quarterbacks in golf, but like basketball is like not their thing, man.
Yo, Larry Bird, chill, champ.
Bro, you talking about a dude? You talking about a dude from like 50 years ago, man. That's what I'm saying. You talking closer. Closer to when it was slavery. When it was harder for black people and people of color to get on TV, that's when they dominated. The minute that shit was no more segregation, fucking minorities ripped apart every fucking sport. Now on the man, we took over. Like, there's nothing wrong with telling the truth. We dominate. I think it's just dominate sports and entertainment. That's what we do. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's no future for talk like that. I think everything's different, man. I mean, I'm a big believer. Like, people shouldn't even be like telling, like, bringing up their kids and telling them about races. Like, I think it's just sometimes like I believe we're past that. You know what I'm saying? I know that it still exists in a lot of places, but I think that sometimes we add more, to the racism.
To the fire.
Yeah, like we just add more to it. Like, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure Devin Haney is not a fucking racist, okay? And I'm pretty sure that he was just talking his shit. And, he's under the limelight. This is the type of shit that you're going to receive. You're going to receive backlash. It happened to fucking Billy Saunders as an example, and it's happened to plenty others. It's not the first time.
Ness, my issue is, why is it such a big deal today? Why is it a big deal today? But when Bernard Hopkins, first ballot Hall of Famer, he's fucking like 50% shareholder of Golden Boy Promotions. He's a promoter out here, still actively promoting fights. He didn't get zero shit for the same exact
because he said
words.
It to his face.
So you see, wait a minute, hold on. We all can't talk. And you see, my ignorance is saying minorities are a little more agile, but it's not ignorant for him to say it's okay because he said it in his face.
I was jokingly saying that, but you be ready to jump on me. You don't let me finish.
I mean, maybe you got to watch what you say, like you telling me.
No, it's not. It's not, because at the end of the day, this is not something that was tweeted. There was no Twitter at that time where he was just
there's video of it. I got video. I'm going to play the video for you.
No, but I'm telling you that it happened live. It happened live in his face. You know what I'm saying? He said it to his face.
The minute that Devin did that, people dug in the archive and they brought out Bernard, and I'm gonna show it to you right now on the screen. Shit, it's very simple. Like, nobody, people like this stuff has all been there, man. That's what I'm saying.
We've seen it, but good looking playing out for people that might not have.
Where is it, in the pre-pro?
It was definitely in the pre-pro. Actually, it's probably easier to find it in the.
It's in the
Border Wars. In the Border Wars.
It's cut to Joe Smith.
I found it. I'm about to open this up and show them.
Okay, tell me when it's ready, and I'll try to explain what's different. I think what's different is 2019 and 2018 happened. Like, real talk, in those 2 years, the game changed. Like, people are being held.
Boxing
is
its own thing.
The game of life.
It damn sure is its own thing.
That's the problem. Yes, it is its own part of its own little world, but that world is being chipped away.
Let me play this down real quick. Let me get this audio out. Only 9 seconds.
I would never let a white boy beat me.
He ain't racist. He ain't racist.
He got knocked out.
And there's
but nobody said Devin Haney's racist.
no, but that is the narrative though. That is the narrative that they're trying
Outside
to
this
use
show,
out there.
It is the narrative, and he does not deserve that. This is the problem: is the spillover from 2018 and 2019. A lot of people like to call them snowflakes. Some people like to call them social justice warriors. Whatever you want to call them, you know. The heat was brought up by people that are just infuriated with injustice and racism and bigotry and malawareness and just all types of shit, right? And so people try to keep you in check more today than it used to be. Twitter police is like a real thing. These people get so upset, and it's like cancel culture is taking over. So that was the big thing, is cancel culture has gotten to a point where, you know, it's just, we got to revert. Look, political correctness is cool when it works, but when we take it as far as we've taken it today, now what are those people that are harassing this kid? I mean, he is a kid still. Let's be real. He's a grown man, but he's still very, very young. And who are these people that are harassing this dude who made this one comment that they don't even know who he is? Like, fuck those people too. You're ugly. You're ugly for the shit you've been saying to Devin. You're ugly for the shit for not giving people second chances. You're ugly for all the shit. You're as ugly as the racist. So fuck them all. Like, honestly, I ride with Devin. He's not a racist. If he was, I think I'd have a better shot at sensing it, maybe. But maybe that's just something I want to believe. You know.
Look, racism means you really don't mess with that culture based off how they look. That's what racism is. Okay,
there's levels to it, right?
Yeah, there's definitely levels.
But that is the extreme level. Like, I don't want them in my neighborhood. I'm never going to swim in a pool with them. I'm not going to be in my restaurant.
That's full racist.
That is not saying, yo, I'm not going to get beat up by a white boy. It has nothing to do with racism. It's more like, yo, if I get beat up by a white boy, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know? It's that. That's where it came
look, I don't
from.
know. We older though. Me and Cash older. We came up in the 80s. It was a term that was used a lot in basketball. I played basketball elementary, high school, you know, mad tournaments. Like, I love the basketball. That's just something, like, anytime a white boy stepped on the court, how could you not relate him to, oh, that white boy could shoot? Like, nobody called him nothing else but that until he got his name out there, and then we said, oh, that's white boy John. He never was not white boy.
White boy.
He was still white boy.
We grew up where the whites were the minorities, and that's all of us. I'm pretty sure. I don't know about Mario.
Bro, I didn't meet a white kid until I met one white kid until I was 10 years old. I played baseball with him, and that was it.
I didn't grow up where the whites was the minorities. Just my neighborhood, right? Like, my 4-block radius. There wasn't no white boys except for one, white boy John.
Same.
But
me
let
too.
me go 7 blocks to Bloomfield back in the day. See if I won't get pulled over for being on my bike by the cops. You know what I'm saying?
I think this is gonna be
But listen, man, it is
Patreon
what it
only
is.
show today.
Word is born. Let's move on, man. Final thought.
And there was 2 mics, and one was white Mike, and the other one was black Mike. Which Mike? Black Mike.
Word up.
About that.
Yo, if he was black, then it was all right. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's hilarious. We did have a white mic and a black mic, and they were. And you know what? Man, it's so funny you said that, because we didn't like either of them, because both of them had this thing. It was so clever. They would be like, yo, you got change for $1? Yeah, let me borrow 50 cents then. And we'd be like, oh man, we just told them I got change for $1. They both would do that. So I never had no lunch money.
They also had Spanish Mike. Puerto Rican Michael.
Yeah, we have
my cousin named Michael, man. Like, whatever. Let's keep it moving, bro. Where we going with the notes now? We got notes.
Mike, you going with Mike? Mike knockout Wilder?
Yeah. Look, we going back to it. We going right back to a Mike, except Mike didn't say it this time. I'm gonna call him crazy. That's where I'm going with it. Crazy Jeff Fenech says that the former Mike Tyson, right? Because he's the former trainer of Mike Tyson. He says that Mike Tyson could train for 6 weeks right now and knock out Wilder in 1 round. I'm like, yo, everybody want to disrespect right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool because I took part in that same shaming. I did that, and this is karma. And I told y'all I learned my lesson with karma like 5 years ago, but I didn't even know it was to the extent of sports, because I laughed at AJ. I partied in his loss. His loss was definitely, I used it as a means not only to get views, but it was just the everyday joke. So karma came back and bit me in the ass, and my champ lost now. So now this is the same thing happening. All the trolling that I did, this is what Jeff Fenech is doing. The disrespect of this motherfucker. Because Tyson got to be like 53 years old right now, 54, something like that, something crazy. Wilder would destroy this man. Like, Jeff is just disrespectful. He looking for Wilder to choke him. Like, honestly, Wilder is definitely going to check him whenever they see each other, because that's the type of person that he is. It happened with Billy Joe. It's happened with other people. Jeff Fenech is obviously senile. Is he older than Tyson, by the way?
Mike Tyson's 53 years old.
And Jeff
He'll be 54 in June 30th.
And
Jeff got to be older.
He's got to be older and senile because he's 6 weeks.
Senile.
6 weeks.
Senile.
No, I mean, think about it.
Jeff is 55. Jeff is 55.
Well, then he has absolutely no excuse because
but let's get
can't
into why
train
he
for
said
6
it, though.
weeks. You can't train for it. Don't matter why he said it. You can't get there in 6 weeks.
No, it kind of does, though.
Oh, God.
It kind of does because it wasn't personal.
He didn't put Mike. He didn't put Mike in a time machine, bro. He said 53-year-old Mike, who hasn't fought in, I don't know, over a decade, okay, could train for 6 weeks.
Nah, he was out of his ass.
Jeff,
he was talking.
He's disrespectful. He need to get smacked. Wilder should fucking check his ass.
He was trying to say that the point he was making was that
I'm not
the
done
Mike
with
Tyson
my
era.
rant. I'm not done with my rant. AJ lost to Ruiz. Ruiz isn't perceived to be the best heavyweight. Like, before Fury was where he was at because he did it with Vlad. To try to use this as an opportunity to clown Wilder like he lost to a bum, that no one is picking against Fury moving forward. There's not a fight you can mention, not Usyk, not AJ. No one is picking against Fury. He's the fucking favorite.
Wilder.
He's the fucking favorite, but they want to disrespect Wilder. Now Wilder's trash, and a 53-year-old dude that ain't fought in 10 years. Man, I swear to God, man.
A lot of that's happening. A lot of that's happening. They're kicking him while he's down right now. Man, ain't no way in hell I believe that my man Mike, the legend, the one that got me, into boxing when I was a little kid, like, ain't no way in hell he would be a Wilder at 53, bro. Jeff is off. He's off his tits. But I'll tell you what, the point that he was trying to make was that Wilder was there to get hit.
He's fucking Australian. I should have known.
He was there to get hit. Wilder was there to get hit. That was the point he was trying to make, that Mike Tyson doesn't miss, and he would have definitely finished a guy like Wilder off. I mean, if you want to get me into a fantasy fight.
Yo, you're crazy, bro. You're crazy. Young Mike, no Mike. Mike always lost to tall fighters. Any tall fighter, any tall fighter that had balls, any tall fighter that wasn't afraid beat him. Any tall fighter that was not afraid beat him.
Bro, a lot of guys wasn't afraid.
You crazy as hell, man.
Bro, Mike Tyson had that.
He had people intimidated before they stepped in the ring, brother.
Not everybody. I mean, it sounds good in the YouTube videos and shit, and the interviews and stuff, and the art of seduggery. But at the end of the day, he had some live cats in front of him that really.
Which
felt
one? Name some live cats.
I mean, Razor Ruddock.
Name some guys. Name some guys that gave him some resistance.
The champion, Spinks.
No, but that's not what you said.
Zero resistance in the Spinks fight. Zero.
No. Stop. Yeah, you're tripping, bro. Listen, I'm going to tell you. First of all, real quick, let me tell y'all that Jeff did not. The ultimate point he was making was he was trying to say that there's a difference between the era of fighters in the heavyweight division that Tyson was in with and the era of fighters today.
Man,
he
Jeff
was
is
comparing
a clown,
those,
man.
really is what he was doing. Look, was it disrespectful? Absolutely. And here's the thing. I don't think Jeff believes it either. I think he was trolling. But I think the ultimate point he was trying to make was that the heavyweights were just born tougher back then. I think they were stronger in his opinion. I don't really know what it was. All I can say is that no, I would put AJ and I would put Wilder and I would put Fury in with a lot of those guys, and I would give those guys our guys right now in this era the better chance of winning. So I wouldn't agree with him necessarily, but the old school guys do that. They say, yo, my era was the toughest era. I do that with the featherweights all the time, talking about Pacquiao, Marquez, and Morales and all those guys. And so, I hear what he's saying, and I don't think the point was ultimately to be disrespectful to Wilder as much as it was disrespectful in the or as much as he was trying to pump up his own era of heavyweight.
Bruh, you can't pump up your own era and single out a fucking heavyweight, man. Get out of here.
I think Mario's taking it friendly, and Ness is taking it as a disrespect.
Took
it. I know, and I was gonna say I took it as a diss, and diss is short for disrespect. I saw the fight on yesterday, Muhammad Ali Frazier 2 and 3. I was a little bit bored, but I watched it, and I was saying to myself, Mike Tyson would have beat Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? To myself, saying that, I was like, Mike would have beat Muhammad Ali. No, I didn't include Wilder, but now, like Ness said, Wilder, who got beat by Tyson Fury, and everyone has Tyson Fury as number one. Why? He got through Wilder to become number one. So it's a point well taken. He is trying to diss Wilder. Like, Wilder never had it. So then everybody that Wilder beat didn't have it either. It's my point.
No, that's what everyone is doing. AJ did it too. AJ basically said, yo, he only had 4 elite fighters, and in his 4 elite fights, he struggled. Like, everyone is taking a shot. And look, he brought this on himself. I brought it on myself. Like, we took shots, so you get shots thrown back at you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Rap says it best. You shouldn't throw shots if you live in a glass house, right?
Right.
At the time, I thought my house was made of concrete. You know what I mean? I thought Wilder would land that shot and get the knockout, but that doesn't mean that he's, zero heavyweight. Like, you lost to the best.
We ain't gonna sugarcoat it that much, bro.
He don't
like Wilder. You can tell.
Yeah, y'all could listen. I know that y'all are gonna call it the way y'all see it, and I got no problem with that. Because honestly, you could be right. I think I read it when I read it initially. Because here's the thing: I didn't read the article that Ness sent originally. It wouldn't pop up for whatever reason on my phone, so I just Googled it on my computer, and I saw the transcript. And just the way that he was talking, like, he got to the point so quick. I think he realized he was being disrespectful, and then kind of try to walk it back a little bit.
You don't think much of him. That's what it comes off as.
That's true. That's true.
Bro, you stick a jab in Tyson's face, and he was mush. Quick as hell. Mush. Come on, bro. Wilder would destroy that dude, especially at 53. Fuck taking him back. At least do Wilder the favor of putting Tyson in the DeLorean. He ain't even put him in the DeLorean. I'm talking about 53. Right now, all he needs is 6 weeks. He could beat Wilder.
Not even 8.
You basically, yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I didn't even know that needed.
He didn't even need to spar either.
I didn't even know that needed to be said. Like, I thought that was already understood. Like, he's disrespecting so much. Exactly. He disrespecting so much that he don't even in full
I didn't believe
camp.
it when he said it. I'm like, oh, he's clowning right now. He's like tripping. He said
He's
6 weeks. Like,
disrespectful,
honestly,
man.
he knows damn well that
Everybody.
wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Everybody taking
Mario,
shots.
all the words that you say are going to be taken literal. So you have to take these guys that you read literal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's okay. But that's the problem. Did you see the full transcript?
I didn't see the full transcript.
That's what I'm saying. It's me taking that full transcript into account. It leads me down that path. If I would have just read those, and I'm not gonna say that the author was trying to paint a picture. Not at all. He took the best quotes. Guess what? I would have done the exact same thing. So I'm not saying that there's a problem.
But
with that.
I didn't see him put Mike versus anyone else.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And I think it was because he was trying to walk it back. Look at the transcript. Look at what he said. He said it. And then, like, all he was saying afterwards, well, our eras were tougher. Our era was better than this. And this era doesn't have blah, blah, blah. Like, he was trying to walk back the comments. So, yeah, you're probably right. He just said this was something disrespectful when he tried to walk it back.
So, what's the golden era? What's the Lennox Lewis era? Which one is the era? Let's compare them right now. Who's this? My era was better. What era is Jeff talking about?
Ali was the gold.
He 55. He 55.
No, I thought you were asking me personally. You're saying what is he saying?
All right, boom. Let's go to Ali then. So Ali era. So who else is with Ali? Who was the top dogs? Ali, Frazier. George.
That's it.
No, George Foreman. Who else?
Joe Louis.
Let Mario answer. This his era.
Well, no, Joe Louis is too
far back.
It's too far back.
Yeah. No, I was fucking with you because I don't know that era.
Yeah.
Sonny Liston.
Sonny Liston don't sound like the Ali era.
Yeah, that goes in there. He beat him.
Yeah, he beat him.
Ali beat Sonny Liston.
Oops.
I know what you're trying to do, and that just fucked you up right there, bro. Listen, you're talking about those doesn't even go on the list of heavyweight. It goes on the list of all-time all-time boxers.
Bro,
period.
listen, I just need the top, man. Whoever was the top back then. So only
Sonny
4
Liston,
guys?
Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier. Okay, listen, I'm gonna give you those 4 guys, and that's it. Now you tell me.
Eddie
I'm
Shavers.
I mean, we got 4 guys right now, bro.
Yeah,
And they're all Hall of
I would
Famers?
say
I would put my
say
4
Mike
guys
Tyson.
right now. No, I ain't going to Mike. Fuck that
No,
generator.
stop. Let me tell you.
No, this was my scenario. You gonna have to wait and give me your answer. This is
let
my
us down.
idea. So
Go ahead, go.
I'm definitely going with my era. Tyson versus your best, right? My Tyson Fury versus your best, which is back then considered Ali. So Ali would have to face the 6'9", 273 white version of him, since we racist, okay? And then Frazier, who's George is your number 2. George gonna have to fight Wilder, okay? And then Frazier gonna have to fight AJ. And who's your 4th? Oh, Sonny Liston. Who is my 4th? Shit, I think we do have.
Sonny Liston was a bag.
I think we short a 4th. We short a 4th, so I'm gonna
You got like a Usyk or one of them.
Nah,
dudes.
man, get the fuck out. You think listen, this the dream team.
Like
this
Ken
the dream
Norton,
team. We not
I
putting
forgot to
Usyk in
even
the dream
mention-
team.
Listen, I forgot to even mention Ken Norton. Okay, I forgot to mention to even mention Ken Norton. There's nobody else you could stack up upon that. Even if I for
What you
1
mean?
second allowed you, hold on. Even if I for 1 second allowed you to get away with just matching those names and simply saying that proves that they're at least equal to some degree.
Yeah, at least equal.
It's equal. So you're just
least,
saying that Fury
least.
and Ali are equal. At the very least, they're equal. That's what you're saying.
In a simulated fight, in our minds, come on, bro. What the fuck would happen?
What?
That's an amazing fight. That's an amazing fight. Tyson Fury versus Ali, and I think Tyson Fury wins.
I don't think that.
I'm done.
That's Ali's style.
Listen,
right?
listen to me. If
Yeah,
you like
but
this,
listen.
Hold on. If you like this, and we're about to get to some callers, and if you want to call in live and chop it up with us, tell us, Mario, you're wrong. Tell us, Ness, good God, why did you say what you just said? Then you can call us. Go to patreon.com / the boxing voice. I'm gonna get it right. And you can chop it up with us, become one of our Patreons, and sign up to things like Boomerang, where you get to come back to the call, and a bunch of other privileges. So definitely, we're getting ready to go to callers here in just a second. If it's your first time listening, then just listen, see how it goes. You can call in for free on blogtalk.com. You can get the number is
1-425-569-5241.
My man, and chop it up with us. But patreon.com, definitely hit us up.
So yeah, man, I don't see. We seen George Foreman, who doesn't have the footwork, doesn't have the agility.
Of what?
Let me finish. He doesn't have the footwork or the agility or the height or the boxing distance or the boxing brain of Tyson Fury. He just doesn't. And George gave Ali hell. Ali resorted to a rope-a-dope. His game plan was to take punishment longer than George. That's a dumbass game plan
right there. That's
a dumbass game plan.
Big difference right there. Is the power.
But you see what I'm saying? You're I'm not saying you're pushing back the goalposts, but you were matching Fury and Ali, and now you're matching Fury and Foreman. Like it's like
no, I'm matching Fury and Ali.
Number ones.
I'm giving Mario. Don't you don't need to get into that because I'm just giving you my reason. Foreman gave Ali his to me his toughest fight. I mean, I seen the Fraziers, but that style is a little bit different. I think Ali didn't change his style for Frazier. He completely decided to lay on the ropes and outlast the younger man. He didn't box he just said, fuck it. this guy's gonna get tired of hitting me. Like, that's an insane game
Look,
plan.
all I'm gonna say is that era still had Ken Norton, who I forgot to mention earlier. Floyd Patterson was another one that I just saw right now that I forgot to mention.
That's one of custom models first, actually.
Yep. My man, Cleveland Williams was getting his.
Floyd's a small heavyweight too, man, but he had that.
Like I
gazelle
said,
punch.
man, I'm putting Nate
Sonny
Top
Liston
versus my
definitely
top
in there.
all day. I put Nate Top versus my top.
Archie Moore was there too.
Man, nobody don't know those fighters. Man.
What?
Huh? Tell him, Kaz, you a casual. You don't know about all that shit.
The Mike Tyson era with George Foreman in it, Lennox Lewis in it. Who else was there? Mike Tyson, Lennox,
Riddick Bowe,
Andrew,
Evander Holyfield.
What's the dude that became Chris Bird? Come on,
Kaz just
Samuel Peters.
Kaz just picked 64-year-old 64-year-old Foreman over. No, but I rock with you. I get what you're saying. Honestly, Kaz, it was a great era.
No, that era is tied with the era today, if you ask me.
So you're saying that the Ali Frazier,
it
takes a backseat to even Tyson's era?
Yes.
Okay.
Takes a backseat.
The following comments do not represent all co-hosts. No, I was playing.
Listen, I just feel like AJ puts on bigger events. You know, like Ali did Thriller in Manila and all that, but his paycheck wasn't AJ's.
But you can't compare. You can't.
I
compare
hear you, bro. I hear you, but that is the comparison. His event wasn't an AJ event. His gates ain't an AJ gate. It wasn't for all the belts. Like, we just have a lot of comparables. In my opinion, we have a lot of comparables to that time. We have people that you can compare.
I'm just gonna let Izzy Weber and Steve. To me, those are two of our most knowledgeable.
Stop pandering, man.
I'm gonna let them get you. Yeah, but because they're history.
Your Honor, objection, Your Honor. Leading the witness. You leading.
Bruh, I'm talking that. Okay, but then also doesn't the prosecutor get his opportunity to bring in specialists? I've already said a million times on this show that I would never consider myself a boxing historian.
Dude, if you want to bring
I'm just saying we should bring in the FBI version of a specialist to come in, sit down, let me interview him.
But it means you need your ass for your argument.
Exactly. He need help for his argument. Thank you.
I'll take it. I don't care. I work smarter, not harder, homeboy. I'm good with that. Bring it on. Let's go.
But say that.
I mean, off the top, this was like
I said that.
It was a freestyle. It wasn't like, yo, I'm a tag.
Oh, okay. I'm
gonna.
I get that. Okay, if in that sense I look bad, I'll give you that. But if I'm just trying to make my point, and I want other people to help me make my point that I respect.
But why not let them bring their own organic opinion rather than leading them down? Rather than lead them down Corpus Christi's way.
I'm not trying to lead them down. I'm trying to tell you that nobody with an understanding of the history of the heavyweight division is going to rock with you. I believe those two are, in my opinion,
but you're setting a line in the sand.
Okay, then you know what? I'm sorry. If those guys can also want to shit on me, they can shit on me too.
Yeah, you drawing a line in the sand.
I'll lead as the witness, Your Honor. What was it? Sustained? No. What's the other one?
Overruled, bro.
Overruled. There you go. I was overruled.
Says overruled. If
all right, I feel.
Because I said objection.
You have an objection.
No, if I say objection, yes, it's sustained. Because if it was overruled, he'll be telling me to shut up. That it don't matter. You can say whatever you want. Then I'd have been mad. But, yeah, man, we're going to go out to these callers. We got a couple news and notes to just briefly get to, or no? No, we did that.
Yeah, we have one more, and I'm not sure if y'all got to hear the interview. I heard the full interview, so I'll rock it, and then if y'all want to kick it, you can. Dan Rafael opened up this weekend on several interviews, actually. But the one with Coogan is the one that I saw. He talked about a bunch of things. I think we'll probably use a few of those for this week or at least tomorrow. But the one thing he did mention was what happened with ESPN. He said that to his knowledge, coronavirus didn't really have a whole lot to do with it. He said it probably didn't help, definitely. But he said exactly what I was alluding to the other day. In the corporate structure of a business like ESPN, people come and go all the time. And what he's saying is that the higher ups came along and had a different idea of where they wanted to take ESPN boxing, specifically that of the website and social media and online stuff. And that he just didn't fit into that new role, I guess. They were going to go different direction. You know, it was a little politically correct, but at the same time, he could have leaned on this Corona thing. He could have easily leaned on it and said, look, we're in the state we're in, and everybody would have rocked with them and it would have been cool. But he admitted,
yeah, but I don't even think,
he said would have happened no matter what. That's what he said.
I don't even think like that's what the people want to hear. I think people are more like wondering, was he replaced? Because that's how it's perceived.
That he was replaced by, you mean?
Yeah, you bring on Steve Kim, and
I think him saying that they're going a different direction is him admitting that he was replaced, essentially. And by the way, he was making more money than everyone. Like, he was making so much money as a boxing writer, which today doesn't get you as much as you being a boxing writer, a videographer. You know, basically what Ness does is like a security type of thing where he can do everything, right? Dan Rafael, he could do a lot of things, but he chooses to sit behind the desk and write, which to me is very valuable, but in this era is not as valuable as it once was. So, you know, he was making hella money with them. Yo, he said he could kick back. They said, what's your next move? He said, haven't thought about it. Not even
but that's not true. But that's not true because he already took a job at Boxing Scene, which
he's doing freelance, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Which has to be said that, you know, we reference Boxing Scene frequently, and it's either Boxing Scene, for me it's Boxing Scene before ESPN. ESPN doesn't put out enough content, so the fact that ESPN let him go and Boxing Scene snagged him up is crazy and shows how much Boxing Scene has grown, where they at today. I thought Dan was going to be out of work for a little bit. Like, I thought he was going to at least.
Well, he is out of work in the sense of not having a contract.
Yeah, but you don't, in this day and age, you don't need a contract. You don't need that.
But see, that's my point is you're talking about a person, a writer who is from that day and age and does need a contract. Nestor Gibbs don't, Mario Munguia don't. I'm good. I understand where this is going culturally and you know, technology wise. I understand where this is going.
You heard of.
My thing is he's still being paid to do what he loves. He's still being paid to write. Like, he don't need a contract from from Boxing Scene. And by the way, he went immediately to Boxing Scene, which means they can afford to pay him. I like 5-7 years ago, I was hearing they was doing like 27 million views a day. So I'm sure that's way more.
But it's freelance work though. It's freelance work. That's different. It's not like it's like ESPN signs to a contract. They pay him.
Mario, what don't you get? What don't you get? I understand what the fuck a contract is. I understand him going to Boxing Scene is per article. Like, why you keep repeating that? I get it.
Because you're making it sound like there's some sort of job security in that. There's not necessarily a job security.
There's income security.
Bruh, what is wrong with this guy? Dan Rayfield is Dan Rayfield. If that you're not listening. If Boxing Scene can afford to pay him immediately, he's obviously okay. I would have expected. Allow me to at least get my opinion out, because you just keep chopping and get it up. I would have expected at least my man to wait like 2 weeks and weigh his options. Maybe feel out of the zone. Someone, like, he's already on Boxing Scene a day later. Like, that's great.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I didn't know he was on Boxing Scene.
I think he's chilling right now.
Get mine in, please. Come.
Go ahead, Cash. Go ahead.
Right, but it's not the full story though, Cash. You understand that, right? That story he wrote was based off of things he was working for ESPN. That had tons of research in it.
The Coogan Cassis.
Got it. Okay, you're going a different route. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I didn't know he worked for Boxing Scene. I know he went 15 years. I heard him say, they paid me very well. I was the top paying guy there. I wanted to hear him say, no, I wasn't willing to take less. That's all I wanted to hear. And they released me. Because that's the bottom line. You love the place. They love you. You got history. They know you're knowledgeable. To many people, that's my source. You read Dan Redfeld, you believe the story. You're not going to like Boxing Scene.
Absolutely.
Huh?
No, I believe what you're saying, that Rayfield brought validity to a story, credibility.
It was valid. You went for it. It was like Dan Redfield said it. I believe it. That fight ain't happening, or is happening, or damn, that ain't working. So anyway, he wanted more money. That's the bottom line. There's no such thing of a different direction if you're a writer. What other direction are they going to have with you writing.
Well,
Unless they're
Mario's
saying-
argument is that the different direction for them means writer, dude that could get in front of the camera, they could do a podcast, everything. That's what he
The things
means.
we've seen Steve Kim do over the last decade. You know?
Dan Rafael did that with Coogan. Why wouldn't he want to turn on the
He
camera?
just started.
He
He
did a
just started.
FaceTime
My
thing
man
with
used to
Coogan.
turn down interviews, bro. He
All
wouldn't
the
get on
time.
podcasts and everything.
There's a thing called you got to adapt with the times or you fall behind.
And that's what
And-
Mario
and what's
is
he doing
saying
right now?
But that's
He's
what
falling behind a little
that's
bit.
what Mario is telling you, that he got pushed out because he didn't adapt. Like, it's too late to adapt in 2020. You were supposed to adapt in like 2012.
You know what? Let me put it this simple. And people are gonna say I'm sucking dick, and people are gonna talk shit, but I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be real.
Why you always? Why all your metaphors?
If I have $1 million right now to start my own website, I'll pay Nestor Gibbs what he wants. I'm not gonna pay Dan Rafael. Not because I think Ness is better than Dan, because honestly, Dan knows way more than Ness, and Ness will admit that. But what can you present to me? What can you help me with in terms of content? And my man Ness can go in any direction. I could ask Dan, hit the field, Dan, and he'll come up with a great article in 2 to 3 weeks, because that's what a journalist does. They work on stories. They don't just pump out. But my man Ness can pump out. So I'm going to be getting content daily as opposed to, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's where I'm going with this whole thing. I respect Dan. Yo, I'm a fight freak from back in the day. No one's going to fuck with me on this. I was one of the first fight freaks that was there every Friday when I was fucking 14, 15 years old, however old I was at the time. And so I think Dan is incredibly talented and super smart. But the problem is this is going to a different era. You know what I'm saying? Ness would rather pay me what he's paying me to do what I can do, as opposed to paying Dan, who's 10 times better than I am, 20 times better than I am.
But Dan has the
is
reputation, though. Dan has a
Sure,
reputation.
absolutely. But I'm going to record videos, and I'm going to do things that, Dan's not going to do.
I'll add my 2 cents real quick. I mean, look, Dan obviously has built a name for himself, and whatever way ESPN was moving, whether it be something of an image, maybe they wanted somebody younger, maybe a girl, whatever direction ESPN was moving, I think Dan is safe enough to say that he could work for any network, like Ness said, even if he waited it out a little longer for like the Zone or someone else. I mean, I think that's something that's smart for him to be, writing, freelancing the boxing scene, not being tied into a contract after something like this happening to him. I'm pretty sure that anything coming up next is gonna be him exercising the caution to negotiate so that something like that doesn't happen.
Oh, good break. That's a great point.
DAZN has a DAZN.com that they've been doing stories on. This guy has numbers to John Skipper. This isn't the story that the people wanted to hear. The people want to hear the I guess hypothetical story or rumored story. And that rumored story is obviously there was a rift between Dan and Top Rank.
Yeah.
And Steve Kim has always been a top-ranked guy, so to speak. No disrespect meant, but he's been the guy that can tell you what's going on with, like, Vasil and, any top-ranked fighter. Like, he's been covering top-rank heavy for a long, long time. And in my opinion, outside looking in, this is just that hard work paying itself off. That relationship that he built with Bob being able to tell whoever he got to tell, get Steve in here. And they did. And Bob being able to say, hey, Dan, we all know Dan doesn't write the way we need him to write. We trying to promote here. I could see those things happening. Like, I can see those conversations being said.
I see.
And
I see what you're saying.
And it fits. Why bring in Steve if you got Dan? Steve isn't on the level of Dan, but now he will be, because you got to understand, Dan, in my opinion anyway, again, Mario read him, followed him more than me, but like, when you are ESPN, who doesn't want to leak information to you? Like,
Well said. Yep.
I got Steve Kim's number. You think I ain't going to use it now? Like, I've actually been thinking about it for like the last month. Like, damn, should I have Steve back on the show? I always used to have him on, not always, but we've had him on numerous times. So I was like, damn, now that he's ESPN, should I get him on the show? And that's how it's going to be. Like, you think Salida doesn't have Steve's number from the years of him in this business, and all of a sudden now definitely, hey, look, Kim, you didn't hear it from me, but Appy Davashev is gonna replace Ottawa Wilding because he broke his leg. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
exactly
come
how it
on,
goes.
bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, you guys don't understand how this fucking game works, man. I've been giving y'all game from the beginning.
I put in my time. For 2 straight years, I worked hard. I did. I covered fights. I went to camps. I did my thing. And you know what started to happen towards the end of that second year? Oh shit, never mind. Somebody would hit me up and say, yo, this and this about Top Rank, or this fighter. I actually had one breaking news story on Andy Ruiz a really long time ago that I had like 2 days before it was even going to be announced. I had to wait 24 or 48 hours till I could break the story, but I that's where we were when we were heading in that direction of website. And then slowly Ness started pulling back a little bit. This website thing ain't all it's cracked up to be. We can go another route. And he was right. And I'm not going to lie, it took me a while to really agree with him. I was in awe of a distant era, or an era that's soon to be distant, and that caused a lot of issues for me to have to get over it. So I don't know. He's right.
I just feel Dan's gonna be all right. He still brings them contacts, bro. His Rolodex is there, bro. So it's like any good platform wants that, because anytime there's a rumor, he can call. That's the beauty of your Rolodex. It's like, imagine I had all my relationships intact, bro. It's like, I could have called Terrence and did a show with him on the Charlo subject, him on Keith's response, Charlo on Keith thinking it's a good fight, Bob off saying he'd be willing to put, like, that's what you do with your Rolodex. And Dan can do that. Dan can do that for a website or a network. I think that he would be better than a few people, because knowledge is, I get what Mario's going to say, because he said it before, like delivery and on-air personality, all that is important, and it is something, a huge element. But I think that comes with confidence, and the confidence comes with the knowledge. If you got vast knowledge, you're confident on any subject. And I've watched Dan throughout the years. He's been on camera numerous times, bro. They can make it work with him if they wanted to. But enough on Dan. Let's get to these callers. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, if you are today, obviously being a flagship show, if you're a flagship and up TBV Patreon, you can use Skype to call in, add Nestor Gibbs. Remember, we're talking Anthony Joshua. Oh, wow. That was, I know it sounds intentional. It wasn't. Anthony Joshua mentioning 6 fights that he wants before he retires. Usyk, Kownacki, Luis Ortiz, Jarrell Miller, Wilder, Fury. Which one of these names surprises you? Excluding, obviously, Fury and Wilder. Put it in the order. Put it in order. Come on, let's get some participation here. Bob Arum also says it's BS on Lomachenko demanding $7 to $8 million for the Lopez fight, and Loma not wanting to fight in New York City, says it's complete BS. Does this change your feelings on Loma being ducked, or do you still think Teofimo's telling the truth and Loma simply ducking? Camp Cunningham is open for business. They're reopening the gym on Monday morning. He's from Florida, so West Palm Beach is going to have some fighters. Is this a good or a bad thing? Too soon amongst this COVID-19? That's what we're asking you, good or bad? And obviously we want your thoughts on Devin Haney's comments, landing him in Twitter jail, because that's where everybody's really crying about it.
I like that. I like what you did there, Twitter jail.
Yeah, because it's Twitter. No one's saying nothing on Instagram, I don't see. But I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying it's not a big thing like that. Was this just poorly thought out on his tweet and his comments in the interview with 78 Sports? Or does Haney deserve the backlash? Keep in mind, Bernard Hopkins said the same exact freaking words. Then news and notes, Jeff Fenech, that I think is Finnish, for saying what he said. The former trainer of Mike Tyson believes that Mike Tyson could KO Wilder if he had 6 weeks to train. Not 8, but 6. How high is he? How high would the odds be for this fight? And would you place $1 billion on Mike Tyson? Or would you still put your money on the Bronze Bomber? Is there a difference between the toughness of Tyson's era and the toughness or lack of the toughness in Wilder's era? Like I tried to compare, Fury versus Ali, and Wilder versus like George Foreman, and I would put AJ versus Foreman. Foreman. I mean, actually thinking about it more and more, that dude from Philly would really probably fuck up AJ with that left hook, because that's what. But I'm gonna go with it anyway. It'll make it a good fight. Yeah, man. And then I guess you could give your thoughts on Dan Rafael. Remember the number to call in: 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Ness, what's this 1 free month of the zone on TBV?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they ain't giving out 1 free month anymore, but if you use that link, you do give your favorite podcast a little kickback, and you can use that link to sign up to DAZN. It used to be a month free. Should have took advantage of it when we were doing that 1 month free. Old text. But yeah, you can definitely use that link to sign up. Not that you want to sign up right now, even though they do have content. Look, Chris Mannix is doubling his content that was on the podcast. They were late. You see, they just dropped that on DAZN. TBV brought you that news sooner. What I did, consume the podcast so you don't have to, bring you all the good shit. You know what I mean? That's what we do. Steve in Chicago, talk to us.
Yeah, hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
All right.
All right, on the AJ thing, I think Kownacki is the least likely, and then probably Ortiz, and then Usyk probably after that. I actually think he's going to give up the belt to Usyk, and then maybe fight him at a later date. That's what I think. And then for the Loma Lopez, you know what? I actually think I have a feeling that fight ain't gonna happen. I just have this gut feeling, and I'm gonna attach it with another subject. Don't you think Haney's kind of promoting with the words he said? To me, he just made that fight bigger.
If you believe in no publicity,
right? I think Eddie should cut him a check for promoting a potential fight with Loma down the road, because that's basically what Haney did. I think Haney and his dad, just from listening to him on this show, they're smart, man. I think that was actually a smart move by Haney. That made that fight just bigger to me. So you should get a bonus check from Eddie for that.
I can see where you get it like that. Definitely.
Yeah, man. Because the mainstream, they're gonna.
That's only if you look at it like, all news is good news, or all publicity is good publicity.
That's how I'm looking at it. Floyd made millions off of that. That's what I first said when I first heard that. I said he's pulling something, a bag of trick from Floyd. And Floyd made more money off of his haters than he did the people that liked him. Floyd is the richest boxer in the world, and how many haters did he have? Think about it.
Hey man, you're speaking facts.
Floyd has said a lot of dumb shit over the years, but he's rich off of it. I think Devin is doing the same thing, man. He's smart, man. I'm telling you. Sometimes drama brings money, man. You got to make drama. People like that.
I mean, and if you read into his statement, he said, I'm not a racist. I never will be a racist. I'm chasing greatness, undefeated. So all he's saying is, like, he wants to fight Lomachenko, and he knows he won't lose to Lomachenko. He's chasing greatness. He wants to fight.
I believe he meant what he said, but why wouldn't he? Why would we bash him for saying? I mean, you don't want to think you could get beat by nobody. So just because he pulled in because he won, I mean, so what? He's supposed to say that, in my opinion. What's he supposed to say? That's how I look at it, but, you know, I'm a little different.
Steve, Chicago, thanks for calling in. We're going out to California alumni caller.
Mr. Infojo.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Infojo.
presented by my brother.
Give me last, man.
Say what?
Can you give me last?
All right. We going out to Brandon, Cincinnati.
What's going on, Ness? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What up?
Man, chilling. As far as AJ goes, that's a decent list of opponents, and he can make it happen. He's the money guy, so he pretty much picks who he wants to fight, and people are gonna take the fight because he's the draw and he comes with a big paycheck. So if he says those are the 6 names he wants, outside of maybe Fury and Wilder, the other 4 fights probably won't take much negotiating. Those guys don't have as many options as the big 3. So yeah, those are 6 decent opponents to end your career with. As far as Haney, I don't think he was coming from a racist standpoint. I think it's more cultural. I know from personal experiences growing up, we used to say the same shit when we played sports like football. When we saw a white team come out, we didn't think they had a chance. We just thought we was going to be, athletically superior. And we just thought we was just going to intimidate them just because we was black and they was white. And shit, when we were younger, that shit, actually worked. It didn't really start, not being a factor till once we got in high school and we started playing some white boys that was actually decent. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with Devin Haney saying that. Just don't get your ass whooped by a white boy. If you're going to say some shit like that, because Bernard said the shit, he ended up getting beat by 2 white boys named Joe. And one of the white boys knocked his ass out of the ring. So, yeah, Devin, so Devin just back them words up, man, because Loma ain't an easy out. And Loma ain't an average white boy. He got some rhythm. He got some soul. So that's what I got to say about that. As far as the shit, what was the other topics y'all were talking about?
Camp Cunningham in Florida opening up for business, ready to bring in fighters.
I mean, shit. Long as they, I don't know, man.
Listen, you got to think like this. You got to think like this. That means Gervonta Davis could go down there and start preparing for a Leo Santa Cruz fight.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the way I think, I've been going out jogging and shit myself. I ain't letting the shit control my life either. I've been getting out, getting fresh air. So if they want to do it, just do it. But I don't think it's too risky. I mean, how many guys you going to have in camp at a time? A few fighters at a time. So it ain't a big deal, really. I just worry about the damn beaches, all them, hundreds of people at the beach at once. That's going to be dangerous. But yeah, if they want to start camp, go ahead, man. Go ahead and start camp if they want to. But that's my comment. Y'all have a good one.
Brandon, thanks for calling in. Yeah, man. We going out to Harlem. Getty, what up?
Hey, Ness. What up, Getty? Hey, I just read something. Florida beach is crowded within 30 minutes of reopening at 5 p.m. despite state recording 1,413 new COVID cases. Its highest one-day increase since pandemic crisis began. Crazy.
Damn, so the beaches open up and the pandemic spiked?
They may have been using Florida as a test area.
Ooh, I like the conspiracy on that, champ.
Test area to see could they do it, you mean?
Yeah, could we do it in New York? Because all
the
states
man, we'll never be able to do it in New York no time soon. New York is too on top.
Well, what I'm saying is it happened in Florida is like too soon.
Yeah, but we got to see how many of those cases where they come from and everything. The ages too, man. That factors in a lot because look, Ak and Barack both caught it, man. Shout out to them and prayers to them.
Yeah, man.
Ak is completely from the Sweet Scientist on Sirius XM and DAZN. Ak and Barack both contracted the virus and they both have beaten it. So, yeah, it's different, man. Like,
no, but what is it? I don't understand what you mean by that.
I mean, like, it's not dangerous for healthy people.
It isn't, but then you do hear people being your age and dying with no condition.
Older, I've been seeing Jeff Fenech age 55. Like, don't get me wrong, my wife obviously is giving me cases of 29s and stuff. Like, you get those, but the numbers are greater for older people.
Yeah. If you sick, if you diabetic, if you asthmatic, if you have lung issues.
If you pretty healthy, you should be able to bounce back. Is what I'm trying to say.
They had this one guy who was a basketball coach on. It was on. I think I saw it on Ellen's YouTube spot, and he just had a baby. He was 26, no history of any issues breathing. And this virus just annihilated that. I mean, he had asthma back to back. You know what I mean? So he passed away, unfortunately.
What?
So yeah, bro.
It's always shocking when I hear the young dudes pass away because them the ones beating it.
Yeah, my dad's 55, so you know what I mean.
Travis Kaufman beat it. He like 30 something. He beat it.
Yeah, that's true.
Andrew Cuomo beat it.
Let me go back to the callers real quick. We got Israel in Oklahoma.
Hey, good evening, fellas. How y'all doing tonight?
Oh, good.
Israel, what's up, brother?
Israel, what up?
Man. Hey, on AJ, don't care. Any grown man that talks about another man and calls him a B ending in H. Come on, man. I can't believe y'all signed off on that. That was terrible, dude. I'm sorry. That's nursery shit. Haney, don't care. I will say one thing on that. I think I like Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson would go on ESPN, he'd go on network TV, and he would say anything. Where I feel like this was, hey, he's going to say it in this specific format. I mean, I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I respect Tyson's game more. I'll say that much. Teofimo and Loma. I think I was the same way. I believe Teofimo until a podcast on Friday night. So that was another enlightening Bob Arum episode. All four Camp Cunningham. Dude, we got to start somewhere, man. We can't stay hidden in our houses for the rest of our lives. It's getting crazy. I know Oklahoma's a lot different, man. You talk about lockdown, Nez. I go to Walmart and it's nothing like normal. And I won't go too deep into the heavyweight histories.
The airports are shut down over here, bro. I told you, me and my girl just took drives for no reason. The airport is. I was like, wait a minute, babe. I don't see one plane. And we Googled it. Like, the airport is shut down. Like, this is Newark Liberty Airport. You know how big that is? This is an international airport. It's insane how they treating us. I'm ready to move.
Millions and millions being lost.
As you come down here, you can stay with me, man.
Look,
fuck
hey,
that.
Izzy, you can start a business.
Hold on, Izzy. Hold on. I go down there. You got to get me lunch, and I'm staying with you.
You don't get the lunch if you stay. You don't get the lunch.
Yo. He offered lunch to everybody. I want lunch, or I don't feel as special as them.
I got this new neighbor though, man. He's a blonde dude with a mullet, real skinny. Looks kind of like a tweaker. He's got some big cats in the backyard. I don't know what's going on over there, but other than that, you be good.
Joe Exotic.
Oh shit!
Hey, I gotta take that back real quick. You can't stay with me, man, because you're comparing the current heavyweight. Unless I misheard you, are you comparing the current heavyweights to either the Ali era or the '90s era?
He sure is.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
So Weber, you got 25 seconds left. 22. Tyson Fury versus Ali. How does that fight play out?
Come on, man. I'm not even going to entertain this.
Yeah, because you're afraid to.
No. I'm not.
You're afraid the truth got to come out.
The 90s era is the only. The 90s era is the only one I'm going to question because of the. If you look at the bodies of those heavyweights
Nah, champ.
Listen, if you want to be a caller
who's one of my favorite callers, like Izzy Weber, you got to go to patreon.com. You got to sign up. Maybe you're wondering, why do people keep talking about this Bob Arum interview? Where's all this information about Bob Arum? I'm reading stuff that has nothing to do with what they're saying. Well, that's because you're going to be listening to it a week later, or you're listening to it right now and it's a week late. So if you don't want to do that, you want to catch us daily, go to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice.
And take advantage, man, because on Patreon, at least you get to get those MP3s free of, having to waste your data and, be under your phones.
Ad free.
Ad free, that's right, because that's important. There's a lot of ads in those free shows.
That's important to me. I'm telling you, I was able to get those. Well, first of all, I'll tell you that having that, I was bedside with my grandfather all weekend. And I didn't have internet. That place, the internet. I'm not saying I didn't have internet. What I'm saying is that internet sucked. I would have never been able to hear a 3-hour podcast.
Dude,
ever.
in the airport it's difficult. You can't try to like if you're in the airport waiting for your flight and you try to download a podcast, it's not happening. Even if there's
you gotta
free,
do that shit the day. Yep.
Yeah, even if there's free Wi-Fi. So having the MP3, it's very important. But
and maybe you're listening to this a week later, and the fact that you haven't gotten boxing, you're super tired of it. Go to Patreon/ThaBoxingVoice, and guess what? You can catch up on every single Border Wars. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Plenty of fights that you've never seen that you can see, and they're very entertaining fights. You can see my man Nestor Gibbs, my man Enrique, my man Doomy. They're all a part of the action. So definitely hit patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice.
I actually miss Border Wars tremendously.
For real, man. I really do.
It keeps me disciplined, bro. And when there's no Border Wars, I eat cereal daily. Daily. No,
I
daily.
would if they had mine. If they had mine at the store, I'd be eating that.
Bro, I'm telling you, the fact that me and my girl drove to numerous Walmarts just to get my favorite Raisin Bran, and I couldn't even get it. I was tight, man. I'm tight.
I have an idea for you. You tell Izzy mail you a box or two.
Oh shit! Word is born.
His Walmart empty over there. They probably don't even got it though.
Plug, Ness. What you need?
No,
I got you.
They probably don't even got it. Remember, they
don't.
Things are certain items are regional. Like it don't sell like in his area. Maybe I'm not saying that they don't fuck with the Raisin Bran, but they might not fuck with the fake Raisin Bran. Remember the Raisin Bran.
You're talking about.
I want the
you're talking about.
I want the bag Raisin Bran that only
Walmart.
Walmart.
I feel you.
Only Walmart sells it. It's called Malt Oatmeal. It's just way better than regular Raisin Bran for me.
I fuck with that because the generic corn pops and the generic Cocoa Puffs, believe it or not, are better than Cocoa Puffs. Changed their recipe when I was like in college, and I was like bull. Shit.
Yo, you bringing up something, bro. He bringing up something that I never thought of, man. I just was telling my wife, stop buying Golden Grands. It's not the same. I'm like, yo, this Golden Grands ain't the same when my mom used to buy me Golden Grands when I was a kid. Nope. It's something different, and I never even thought of that. Could these motherfuckers change the recipe? That's absolutely what they did because Golden Grands used to be very sugary, obviously. So it probably was too sugary.
The milk.
I love.
They probably changed it because it was probably too sugary, man, and it ain't the same.
That's what they did to the Cocoa Puffs, bro.
They took out the fructose.
I don't know what that is, but I know that it ain't the same, and I ain't happy.
Is that really what they did?
I'm pretty sure because a lot of people took out fructose corn syrup and monophosphate. Yeah, monophosphate.
Yo,
now you think clearer, right? Now you clear. You have clarity.
The fact that you
weed and cereal is an ill combination.
The fact that you even bringing that up reminds me of that documentary that came out of that. It was like let's just for keeping it moving reasons. It was some sort of company that created Teflon. And they was dumping the chemicals into the water.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
And they gave everybody cancer and like all over the place, and now like almost everybody has a little bit of cancer in their body. You ain't see that, none of y'all?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yo, that was craziness.
That's insane, bro. I can't believe that shit is real.
Dark waters.
Dark waters.
Oh, Dark Waters.
Yo, the only reason
That's
I
what
watch
you're
that is
talking
because I
about.
follow actors, man, and see, I'm about to see. I'm racist. Y'all gonna call me racist because I was about to say I don't know his name, but I follow that white guy. Like I love that actor.
On the real, I thought at first you were talking about.
I'm racist. I called him a white guy actor.
You go to Twitter jail. We're canceling you.
You can't be calling him a white guy actor.
Yo, on the real,
say white hype no more. Great white hype. That's canceled. That's considered racism.
yo, you were talking about that movie, and I was like, yo, my man is really about to say it was Aaron Brockovich, and it was not a documentary at all.
Aaron Brock. I
should have had more
Aaron
faith in you,
Aaron
man.
did
I
big
should have had
things.
more. I should have had more. Yeah, she did. I should have had more faith in my man.
Yo, off topic. Somebody just tweeted, "Stop posting sad shit. He don't care, bitch. Post some ass."
Yo, these trolls are.
Yo, who you be following? He always following some weird women tweets, man. But let me get to some calls. We got New Orleans.
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'll kill this mother. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, what's up, Ness?
What up, JT?
Hey, can you come back to me, bro? Or what's up? Let me know.
Yo, there's a whole room, man. You gotta address the room, man. You can't be like that.
We'll try and come back to you. Yeah, no problem. We'll try and come back to you, bro. Stainless, talk to us.
Red belt, black belt, WO and green. I'm king. Undisputed GOAT, TBE. And you can catch the news first on TBV. Voice of the people now let me speak. Scientists of the sweet, BOXING.
Yo,
Peace,
Mario,
King.
when you gonna make your verse to that? You gotta make your verse to that, man.
I told you to send me the instrumental. You still haven't sent me the instrumental. But my bad. I didn't remind you.
Yo, I'll send it to you, man. Give me your email through Instagram, Mario. I'll send it to you.
Oh, yeah. I got you right now. I don't know why I didn't go to you instead.
I know, man. You know I'm the source, man. But, you know what I'm saying? How's your abuelo, man?
Oh, I appreciate
Grandpa.
you asking. He's doing very well. Actually, my father, who is a well-intended man, but we don't always get along. He got him out tonight. We were supposed to get him in the morning. I was going to miss the show, but he did me the solid. They're getting him out tonight, so I'm actually bouncing in about 10 minutes. So
That's what's up, man. Good luck to you and your family.
Thank
man.
you.
As
Appreciate
somebody who went through the whole Corona thing just a couple weeks ago, man, I completely understand. Anybody out there listening, if you're going through that same ordeal, man, prayers out to you. And hopefully we can all get through this as a group, as a community, as a nation, man. On these boxing talks, man, I'm like Israel, man. AJ, he gets no attention from me. This nigga, all of a sudden, Wilder get beaten. All of a sudden, he find his balls, and now all of a sudden, he challenging everybody. And this is my list, but just 2 months ago, he couldn't figure out if he was gonna fight Pulev or fucking Usyk. So I'm not paying no attention to that dude. As far as the quote unquote racist comments from Devin Haney, man, that's like Brandon said, that's a cultural thing, man. If you white or just off white, we might call you white boy, man. That's just how it is in the hood. It's not defamation. You know what I'm saying? It's just a term. It's a cultural term, man. If you offended by it, then that's what you get for having feelings, man. Mario, you made a great point, man. People are really starting to take this shit too far, where they get so in touch with their emotions that they can't take somebody saying something that offends them in the slightest without running to Twitter and all of a sudden overloading people's pages, you know what I'm saying, with these bullshit ass facts and semantics, man. It's time to keep it real on that. What was the other topics though, man?
I mean, you had Bob Arum, kind of calling Lopez, on the $7 million offer that he was Loma was supposed to be demanding. He said that was bull. Kevin Cunningham's reopening the gym down in Florida. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
As far as the Arum interview, I'm not gonna comment on that, man. I was at work and I had to I fell asleep Friday, man, and I I could hear people in the chat, man. It sounds like it's a great interview. So I'm gonna go back and listen when I get home tonight. And on the Coach Cunningham thing in Florida, I think it's a little too early for us to start opening stuff up again. You know, maybe wait another couple of weeks and make sure that we, you know, are good. I know, you know, this is America. We're a capitalist society and money comes first. But if ain't nobody there to make the money off of it, and, you know what I'm saying, then what you got? So, you know, I mean, be cautious with it. I mean, eventually we got to get back to some type of normalcy and getting outside and socializing again. But we really need to kind of tiptoe with that shit. Speaking of somebody who's gone through that personally, we really need to tiptoe into that. That's all I got, man. I got to get back to work. As I always say, please make sure you push the thumbs up. Share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. It's TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, that's because you a pendejo. And shout out to El Camino. Peace.
Stainless, man. Thanks for calling in.
I went on Tidal and I typed in white boy, and just to see what shows up. That's my streaming app.
Yo, what kind of sandwich that is, bro?
Sure enough, it's a piece of cake. Sure enough, white boy is an album name by Tom McDonald. Come on, man. That ain't racist.
Nah, no, man. People use that term. But
what was the name of that IG kid? Or no. He dropped that one track. Y'all don't remember him? He like caught fire in 2018. He's like, and if you pull up on me, I'll let that thing bang. Y'all remember that? It was like that famous clip and everybody talking about he was a young white kid. He looked super young.
White Jesus.
Yes, that it was something like that.
I do remember that motherfucker.
Yeah. and
wasn't he from Ohio though?
Yeah, I think he was from Ohio.
Yeah, he had like mad blood. He had like
Hey,
mad bloods in his video, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I remember that. I remember that kid.
Yeah, and people called him that all the time. So, they pulled his card for sure.
Let me get to Stonebone Boxing, Colorado.
What's happening? What
up?
Hey, Doomy and Mario, as guys of Latin descent, I'm appalled. You sat up here and had the audacity to say, hey, Bob, don't you feel you should have been at the table with Trump? Trump is a non-racist. He running around calling the COVID, it's a Chinese flu. He talking about African countries, shithole countries, and all this shit. And you talking about Bob Arum need to sit. And Bob Arum told you what he thought. And I seen you got real quiet and you real protective because I hate to say this, sometimes guys of Latin descent have thought they was white sometime in American culture until Trump came in office and told these Mexicans, get out of here, go back to the country and start doing this different shit to Latin countries and Haitians and guys from the different Caribbeans denying their visas and all these different behind-the-scene tactics that you don't even probably pay attention because you're real comfortable as an East Coast Latino, not really dealing with that issue like guys in Florida are suffering right now with their family being barred from being able to come from fucking Puerto Rico, talking about they got different reasons, not letting them come to the mainland. So you need to pay a little attention before you run around talking about Devin Haney racist. The definition of a racist is if I have power to control the outcome of your life. And Devin Haney has no power to control the outcome of any of these white boys he talking about life. And we had a famous character on here called himself White Boy John or Joe, White Boy something. That was his name. And we can't be acting like we ain't had famous
I remember that.
Throughout history in the drug game, in the drug culture, in the street culture, in the rap culture. Eminem was the first guy running around talking about the white boy shit. So let's not try to play with him like he was some type of racist. And we sit here and kiss the ass talking about Bob Arum, why you ain't sitting with Trump? And he told you why. So as a Latin man in America, you need to sit back and think about what you're talking about.
Stone, who said that? Because I don't remember agreeing to that.
I know what he's saying. He's saying that
you and listen, he was like, ain't it a disgrace that boxing ain't at the table with Trump? And Bob Arum told you, he ain't a pawn. He been doing this too long to sit at a table and let Trump use him and use top-ranking ESPN as cover for whatever scheme he trying to pull. That's what I'm telling you. And Devin Haney can say how he feel. He man enough to deal with any backlashes don't come. But you sitting here talking about you're racist as if it's affirmative. That's a lie, bro. Let's be honest.
Nah. First of all, I'm gonna get at you because I didn't call Devin Haney no racist. I said the opposite.
I didn't say you.
That man was,
I didn't say you. I'm talking about.
Okay, my bad.
I'm talking about Doomy sitting here. Doomy said it right out of his mouth. What you did with the Bob Arum and boxing and all that shit. Come on, man. He told you and Doomy how he felt about Trump when y'all talking about why y'all ain't sitting down with Trump.
Mark
No,
Cuban
no, no.
said,
That's not what happened, though.
what would it take for you
I
to
don't
sit
remember
down
saying
with
that.
him? He said, I ain't sitting with that racist dude. Let's recognize what a real racist is and not what a little young black guy on a motherfucking podcast on the internet say white boy and somehow he racist. Come on, man. Let's be bigger than that. Let's know what we're talking about.
I'm gonna get this real quick because first of all, I'm gonna tell you, and you could ask Ness. He texted me personally after that. You got what you wanted from him because I did not want to ask the question in a way that would influence him. I wanted his straight, and I knew what he was gonna say. By the way, I already knew. I had heard him. Fuck Trump. First of all, I don't like to get political on this because in the past, when we have given our political views, it has sent away a certain demographic. And this is about boxing, so it's not about politics. So I don't like instituting my personal political beliefs. But personally, fuck that motherfucker. And I applaud Arum for what he said. If you didn't hear it, again, go to Patreon.
It's not only that.
No, I know you heard it.
It's not only that though, but
not that haven't heard it.
He misinterpreted it the way you asked the question anyway. Certain words he switched them. Like when you said what would it take, you didn't you was asking him a question, what would it take to sit down with Trump? And it was something else. He switched certain things to make it seem like you was favoring. No, you were posing the question. And you right. Like I text you because I knew that's what you wanted. Like that response is what you wanted.
I got an article.
As far as
Doomy,
though, he's talking about Doomy because Doomy said that the tweet, or rather the comment, was racist, and so he's answering both of y'all on one call. So he's not mixing it. He's just addressing y'all both on two separate points. But he's also bottling in Doomy with the Mario Trump situation, saying that. I don't know. I didn't hear
I'm gonna have to go back and listen because I can't attest or talk on that. But on me going back on saying that what he said was racist is look, a lot of people are gonna say it wasn't. A lot of people, Stoneboy, you're gonna have to respect it. A lot of people are gonna say that it is racist. It's just a pretty much how you take it kind of thing. I know definitely that Devin Haney.
But shouldn't it be about the context of the way you use the word?
Well, the thing is that it's for the person receiving it to judge it in their way. So it's like,
but who's receiving it?
The white people. It's the other ethnicity. So it's like, depending on who you're talking to. If you're talking about like my man, they
just said white people. Now they're gonna say you racist.
Yeah, no, let's not joke on the point.
I'm telling you, is dissected like that.
No, but people are listening right now, Enrique, and they're following me on what I'm saying. So let me just get to where I'm getting is like. Damn, now you fucked me up. Like White Boy, what was my man? White Boy John? That was the ducked us on board course.
Yeah.
It's like White Boy John. I bet you if you had him on right now.
He didn't duck, by the way. He had another job. Remember, he got a job.
Oh, right, my bad. All right, shout out to White Boy John. You ain't duck, but at the end of the day, he would take things a little differently, probably because how he grew up, or how maybe he was brought up or something like. It's like different people are going to take it differently. So it's like for you to just sit here and say, you know what, Al, this is not racist. There's nothing racist about it. It's like, bro, you're not at that other end. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know how another person's going to take it. Do I believe Devin Haney is racist? Absolutely fucking not. And a lot of people that are good people from white to Spanish to whatever are going to attest to that. And they're going to, rally up for Devin. What Devin did do with that comment was get the attention. And going back to what Steve said earlier on the call, like I'm really digging that type of PR stunt. You know what I'm saying? And you had Mayweather, talking about if it ain't about the money, what it is. So it's like you get more clout on the hate, and it's been proven through the Floyd Mayweather blueprint. So just to get it clear, like we ain't jumping on the kid to say he's racist, but in my opinion, did what he said may come off as racist? Yeah, it comes off as racist, and a lot of people are going to say it was a racist comment. So that's my opinion on it.
A lot of people have already said that. King born in Oregon, talk to us. Yo, I got like mad hair, bro.
Bro, you got the spike hair on top.
I got the little fro.
That's it. This the new
my neck is about to connect to my bed. my neck hairs.
Nah, you looking like Teen Wolf. You looking like Teen Wolf right now.
Look, the back of my neck.
How your beard start at the back of your neck?
Ness needs to be grateful that his son
back here now.
That his son didn't get that hair. His son got the good hair. Not from Ness though.
Yo, look, see? Chris Rock, yo. Good hair, bad hair. All hair is good hair.
Even that's racist.
Yeah. That's what I said, Chris
so
Rock.
So many sensitive people, and then people that don't relate, and then people that get offended that don't have nothing to do with it.
But
so like you could say like, oh, because that's mostly attributed to like black women, you're saying? So that could be considered racist?
No, I was going back to Haney. Like it's how,
I'm sorry.
You know, people talk amongst each other, and if the outside listens, you would class them as like homophobe, misogynist, racist. You know, people might say things, man, amongst each other. Devin Haney happened to use the phrase "white boy." If you like something on some certain kind of meme, I could judge you off of the meme you like. I could look at a meme and be like, "Ooh, that's racist. Why did he put that out there?" And you like it, I'm be like, "Oh, he's racist."
Off a meme.
My head just started spinning when you said
let me get to JT. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What up, champ?
You went to Kingborn and then you cut him off?
Nah, man, he's not there.
Nobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Y'all ready, man?
We ready for you.
Enrique and Mario keep talking over my turn and my time going. Yeah, man. Based up on the racist topic, bro, I really don't care too much about that. I mean, it's depending on where you was growing up and stuff like that. We call a white boy, and it's not racist to us, you know. Just like Latinos might have a name for black people and all that. And I just think, honestly, we all had. You know, we was all brought up under racism. It's just the respect you go out when you go out your house. If you respect a person, you respect a person, and that's how I look at it. So I really don't want to touch too much on that topic. But like I said, I think everybody do have racism in them because we was raised from all different type of cultures. But what's the next topic, Ness?
Mike Tyson. Trainer saying Tyson will beat Deontay with 6 weeks training.
Right now, too. He talking about 50.
No, man.
Yeah, 53-year-old Mike Tyson would beat Wilder with 6 weeks.
The younger Mike Tyson would destroy Wilder. I'm sorry. But this Tyson will get knocked out in the first round. What was the next time? Loma versus with Devin Haney?
Nah,
Bob Arum calling BS on Lomachenko demanding $7 million for Lopez fighting.
Oh, trying to say he's trying to cash, like he's trying to overbid not to get the fight.
Yeah, Loma came on saying something like that you know he was asking $7 million, but Bob, you know, if you go back on the interview, called BS.
No. Teofimo tried to say Loma was asking for $7 to $8 million. Bob is saying Teofimo lying.
That's what I just said.
I mean, man, listen. I think Loma will take that fight. I don't think Loma ducking nobody. I'll definitely he might be ducking like a Bud or any fight like that, but he ain't ducking no Teofimo or Devin Haney, because Devin Haney still haven't proved himself. So I mean, besides that, I mean, I'm tired of talking about that topic. And Enrique, stop trying to reach, man. When the first time he called me, you in the back trying to get my attention, man. I spoke to who I needed to spoke to. You like the backup. You like the last one without a voice, you know.
Yo, my voice louder than yours, man. Calm down.
Nah, man, you can't. You the backup singer.
What's your name, JT?
Your
name JT?
We come like when we started autograph. We get Nessa, Mario. We get Nessa, Myra, even Alex. You the one that don't get no interviews, no autographs, and none of that, man. You the backup. So
yeah, let you say.
Yo.
See me. That's why.
Yo, how crazy is that? JT, thanks for calling in. How crazy is that, bro? Israel literally went to Walmart and texted me a picture holding 3 bags of my favorite cereal, like, send me the Addy.
Damn.
Yo.
That's a real one right there.
Bruh,
Yo,
but
he's a real one.
that's insane that he went there that quick while he's still on. Like he's literally. Oh no,
Bro,
he
no
dropped off.
lines.
He
Bro,
dropped
it
off.
ain't like where y'all are at for everybody, man. I feel so bad for y'all, man. I really do.
I went to the supermarket
I'm
today,
sending
bro.
the
I was
address.
standing in
Fuck
line
that
outside, bro.
Yeah.
The security guy was rude too. He looked at me like, I'm like, can I come in? He's like, you have to wait for somebody to come out. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I was on a line that started at Kmart, which is like the next store over.
Yo, no, listen, bruh. I'm telling you, I'm eating fat. I'm not even gonna say what I was going to eat yesterday, and I couldn't even get it because the fucking drive-through long was. It was outside the parking lot.
Was it Burger King?
I'm not saying, but it was
Oh, my
outside.
God.
It was
I passed-
outside and like down the street. I'm like, what is going on? It's crazy.
Hey, Ness, hold on. Hey, JT, I know you listening. You're not on the line. I'm about to post a video on Boxing Fan Apparel Patreon page. Free. Just see how much love I get when I show up at boxing events. JT.
What that got to do with what he said?
Well, what JT said, I'm the last one to get asked for an autograph.
Oh, autograph.
Yeah, or a picture.
Nah, people be like, hey, yo, that's casual.
Yeah, cash.
Yo, go to the arena with cash.
Yo,
They
Jordan
put cash.
Baker knee look crazy.
Who?
Jordan Baker.
Got that fluid.
You know he had that surgery, but let me see who's next. King Born, let me try you one more time.
Right here.
Yeah, what up?
Y'all hear me?
What
up, brothers? Listen, we gonna
Peace,
do
King.
it like this real quick. Peace, King. I put it like, yo, you know the fight I want to see, bros? I want to see that big baby first. I want to see the big baby. Second, Deontay Wilder. Third, no. Let's see Deontay first. Let's get that out the way, because no matter what, they got to fight. You know what I mean? Everybody know that AJ been ducking Wilder for years. I said it. Them UK boys, what up? You know what I mean? I said it. So like I said, you want to see Deontay first. I want to see Tyson second, Big Baby, and that'll be some good fights. And everybody know what he meant by Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? He ain't racing or nothing like that. Can't, I don't want nobody run with that. He should have said Loma instead of the white boy. It wouldn't been no thing. But he gotta. I agree with my man Steve in Chicago said. They not going to fight. I don't think that Loma and Timo going to pop off. Now, you see that Devin is trying to get it popping, so he going to start talking real greasy and dirty about Loma. That white boy can't beat me. Get out of here. Ain't no white boy beating me. He trying to sell it. He trying to get it going. You know what I'm saying? So, now let's talk about Tyson. Listen, that's his man. You know that's your man. You know you, Doomy, and Kaz are brothers, so you gonna stick up for your man. We know damn well.
I ain't about to lie
Tyson
for
at 53. Yeah, but that's still your man. It don't matter. It's still your man. You know what I'm saying, Kaz? That's your man. You gonna ride with your man, right or wrong? That's your man.
Right.
He just talking. You know they from Australia, man. Don't take that to heart. It ain't nothing going on out here now. The thing with Kevin Cunningham, if Florida could do that for 4 hours, you could get them boxes down there. And like Mario said, we could at least get the training going on. Maybe we could get a fight with nobody in there. We got to keep moving up. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep moving up. But like I said, I think that's a good idea. We all in New York. You know I'm in New York. You know what I mean? It's crazy out here, y'all. Did you hear what happened in Brooklyn? Where they had 60 people at a video shoot in a barbershop in Canarsie.
No.
And
what happened?
They better got some fines. They better have some fines in that motherfucker.
Yeah,
60
two
people.
dudes got arrested. One dude got caught with the burner and everything. You know how it go. That's Brooklyn. That's
Wait
Brooklyn,
a minute. So they tried to shoot a music video in a barbershop?
Yes, King Kelly. Some dude named King Kelly, some young boy that nobody never heard of. I guess he like Pop Smoke, whatever. Know what I mean? and they shot it in a barber shop in Kownacki, East 107th. But after video shoot, it turned into a party. You know what I mean? 60 people. We supposed to be social distancing and everything. You know, I'm a truck driver right now. I'm in Massachusetts, and everybody got the mask on and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing, regional and stuff, but it's just crazy right now.
It's law out here, man. I went out with my girl today, and, she gave me the mask. She worked in the medical field. She had the gloves and the mask. I'm thinking it was a game. I had that shit in a glove box, bro. I got out the car, everybody mask up, and it's signs everywhere like it's the law, can't get in the building without a mask and gloves.
Right.
Like, I got mad a little bit because I saw like two, it's always the Spanish culture too. Like I saw like all the people that I saw that was cheating was Latino. And they would have like a shirt.
He said cheating.
Yeah, they would have like a shirt covering their face or bufanda, a scarf and shit. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at my girl like, yo, why they even letting this motherfucker in? Like, them the people could have it.
Nah, they say you could use a scarf or a shirt or something. Cloth.
Man, get yourself a fucking mask, man. And the last thing. Don't you hate the dude that got the mask or the girl got the mask but your nose out? Your nose go in the mask.
Yo, champ, look what I saw. I saw a couple go in. Both of them had a mask, and then each had one glove.
Nah, I can see that. As long as you don't use that other hand, you good.
Right. Look, yo, I saw a couple. They had hoodies, goggles, mask, gloves, but Shorty had a donkey. I was like, I don't know how she look, but she got a donkey.
Cash got curious as fuck.
My man, even in the pandemic, he thinking about the.
I was like, I don't know how she look, but she got a donkey on a damn.
Bruh, that shit, I ain't even see nobody that strapped up. Imagine that. I'm not letting you in my business. You could be faking and talking about you pandemic ready and you ready to rob.
Yeah, I thought that too. I'm like, yo, this shit look like a robbery in here. Like, I'm putting my gloves on in the car, then the mask, and then I'm getting out like I'm about to like hold up Whole Foods.
Yo, bro, I was not happy, man. I was not happy with people with their nose out the mask and shit, and or the fake mask. Like, nah.
You know
man.
When I hate the most though, the one driving with the mask and gloves on, and the passenger don't got the mask on. It's like, yo, what the fuck?
I ain't even see that
What's
yet.
going on here?
I'm like, yo,
I ain't even see that
you
yet.
Take
but
yourself from him or what?
I promise you, I was the dude like a week ago laughing. I'll be like, look at, babe, why everybody driving with the mask and the gloves on? But I understood it today. Like, I got out of the supermarket and I literally just jumped in the car with my glove and mask, and it's like, damn, I touched my steering wheel. I was mad as hell. I touched my steering wheel with the gloves.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I throw it away right after I get out of the supermarket.
Nah, but I was going to another supermarket. You know, minorities, we can't just shop at one supermarket. We poor. We go to 5, get the deal.
Yo, I get the broccoli cheap at this bitch.
Yeah,
and I
gotta go. Listen,
at the other spot.
I gotta go to Twin City for my meat, and today was meat day. So that was the first thing I said, the meat market. So I gotta go to Twin City for the meat. They got the better price and they got the fresher meat. It's just like real deal, And
the line outside?
The line was outside to get in.
Yo, you can't get around this.
But we went at 7:30. So like it was almost already 8. So like we only had to wait like 12 people was in front of us.
And that's still a lot.
That's a lot. I was tight when she woke me up. Like I wasn't ever asleep, but like. It felt like I was dreaming when she asked me to go with her. I'm like, what? What? Right now? I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I went to Trader Joe's during the week. The line was like in through the parking lot, up the hill to the other side.
No, because that's a bougie spot. You already know all y'all bougie people in that line. That shit take y'all all day probably.
Yo, is it me or like, for a long time out there in China, people were already walking around with masks. Was this something before Corona?
Bruh, let me tell you something. I was just watching the last episode of Westworld. Why is like 7 people in that last episode with black coronavirus mask, corona mask. I'm like,
Nah.
why we so late,
ignorant
man?
shit. Nah.
They've been doing that shit over there.
Yeah. Like Asian culture do that automatically. Remember Michael Jackson
Asian,
do that?
hell yeah, Asian
Michael
definitely.
Jackson do that. But that was not for you to like not contract something. That was because you were sick and you were courteous enough not to want to spread it. So you riding the train with the mask on. So whenever you saw Michael Jackson with a mask on, it was because he interacted with so many people. You know, he didn't want to catch none.
Yo, so I made my own skirt steak today.
Bang.
Yo, girl made me some like
banging
Hello Fresh right now. I'm straight looking at it right now. Like,
what's Hello Fresh?
Hello Fresh. That shit.
Yo,
ain't
what's up, man?
skirt
We gotta get down with Hello Fresh, champ.
What is that?
You be
scared. Get a link.
Yo, my man
be
he say Hello Fresh. Then it was Blue Apron. My man, any quick food he's good with that.
Yo, Blue Apron
bruh.
was good too, but Hello Fresh has been real pretty good to me.
Never the same, bro. I go to the
just
supermarket.
the ingredients and then you cook it and eat it.
Yeah. It's cool though, like, cause like it gives you, the look of a fancy dish and whatnot.
It's
but
like a restaurant. It's like restaurant food, but at home.
The cost ain't effective, man. You kidding me? You know what I'm saying? Yo, I go get my red meat and I be throwing down.
Yo, me too. I made tacos today. I bought the fresh soft tacos, like the one you get in Mexico from Whole Foods.
Tortilla de harina, huh?
Yeah, but I bought the Mayin version, and then I got the queso, the white one. Then I bought my cilantro, and I bought
cilantro. I don't really dig cilantro, man. I like it, but I'll be like, don't put too much, especially with the tacos. It's a little powerful.
Yeah, no, because you're not supposed to put too much. You're supposed to put like 2 or 3 leaves. So I had tacos. Me and my kids, we tore that shit down.
Yo, your wife still's not allowed in the home?
Nah.
That's crazy because I reposted Ox story. He had to be 29 days separated from his family.
Yeah.
So he about to just get to see his kid. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, man, he got a FaceTime and shit. Doctors, like, what was the doctor we had on? He said he stayed in the RV outside his house, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So he was fortunate enough to have an RV. You know, a lot of people aren't fortunate enough for that.
Let me get to Jermaine. What's going on, Boomerang?
Jermaine with the boomerang.
What up? Pardon me. King. How y'all doing?
We're good,
Peace,
brother.
King.
Hey, quick story, man. Y'all touched on something that wasn't even something I was calling on. I was in the grocery store, man. I saw this old lady, man. She was feeling on all the fruit and throwing the fruit back. Boy, I kind of lost my mind. I was like, what are you doing? Like, either have something on your hands or something. Like, grab the little plastic bag, feed the fruit. Like, yo, be careful, man. Yo, take your fruit home, wash everything off. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful, man. People don't give a damn about nobody else out here, man. Quick question, man. Doomy, Cash. This for Doomy and Cash. Can black people be racist in America, Doomy and Cash?
I don't know. I've been hearing that that's a no.
Nah, of course. Everybody could be racist. You know? I know a black dude. I know a black dude, if he saw a white homeless dude asking for money, he would straight tell him, yo, how you white and asking for money? He would tell me he was scared of white people, and now as an adult, he just don't feel like
you could be racist.
If he was
anywhere,
racist,
man.
he would straight tell me
You
he
could be
was
racist. A black man,
No,
Spanish man, a white guy,
hold on.
anybody can be racist.
My bad.
Asian.
Everybody can be
Listen,
racist.
that is your opinion. If you go on Google and do your Googles, I know y'all. It's a boxing podcast, so I don't hold fork to none of y'all.
So what you saying?
If you do your Googles, if you do your Googles, just like you research boxing and all that, like racism is a system. It is not just I dislike you. That's prejudice. If I'm favoritism, that's bias. Like, that is not racism. Racism is a system, like a government. the police. Like, the reason why black people and Hispanic people are shot down by the police, like, because there is a system. They can back up their prejudice. Black people in America aren't backing up their prejudice because of a dislike. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been wronged. I feel some way about you. I am now biased and I am now prejudiced towards you. I cannot call the cops on you and get you murdered in the street. I cannot create laws and have you placed out of your home because you're black or because you're white or what have you. There's no system for black people. There's no system for black people to cause tyranny on another person. Like, it's not equal. So I know this is boxing and this is not a political platform, but be careful of the things we say. Black people and Hispanic people in this country can't necessarily enforce that type of injustice of slavery, of Jim Crow laws, and all that other stuff. Black people in this country just can't do it. So, like, be careful of what we say. Can we be prejudiced? Yes, I can dislike you because you're white. I'm prejudiced towards you, but I cannot.
I could totally take his point into account, definitely. But I mean, I would just ask. There's so much racism, and anybody could be racist. If you want to look at, maybe read into like what's going on in South Africa with the lower income, especially white population, and what they're going through, and the prejudice or racism, whatever you want to call it, what they're going through, you'll see that racism can exist anywhere, man.
Yeah, he was saying that's called prejudice, not racist.
Yeah, he's saying you're confusing the term. So he's saying use Google rather than just saying anything. So but
so
you're also pardoned. You're also pardoned because it's not a political podcast.
Right.
Let me get to another.
It's not like Devin Haney is racist. It's like, is he prejudiced? Like, instead of saying, is he racist?
Yeah.
That's the level of control. I guess he's saying. I guess what I understood was that a black man can't be racist in America because he doesn't control the ultimate.
Don't have the power
lawmaking and power. So I don't know if I could totally agree, because I know that the black community, especially as we've gone past more and more through time, has a hold in politics and other things that in the past they weren't able to get into. I think we've moved past so much that the black man does have power now. Not as much as the white man, because obviously the generations ahead of us, especially I'm speaking from a Hispanic point of view, they're generations ahead of us in a lot of things. But I think that we've come to a point where we hold political seats, we hold positions of power. Voting is there. We vote are the people that we want into office. So I think that I can see your point, but a racist is a racist, and a racist can be racist anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you want to look into a kind of a reverse version of racism, South Africa community, the white people over there were experiencing a lot of, you want to say prejudice? I'm going to call it racism out there, because, they don't want them over there no more. They're kicking them out of places. But if you want to look more into it, you can do it on your own. Just Google it.
Troy, talk to us.
No, good afternoon. Good afternoon. How you doing?
All right.
This is hype to promote a fight. I mean, Devin Haney did exactly what actually everybody's doing what Haney actually wanted them to do, which is to talk about this situation. He's simply promoting himself and promoting a fight that hasn't happened yet. People are saying he's a racist, he's a bigot. Let me explain something to you. Everywhere that he fights, every casino, every venue, is owned by a white person. Where he puts his money, the bank, is owned by a white person. If he was such a racist he's a bigot. He's not a racist. I'll tell you the difference between a racist and a bigot. If I was a racist, Nestor, and I took a look at you and I said, okay, Nestor's a Latino, I don't really want to do business with him. I'm going to shut you down and you will never be able to get on air and do anything again. That's the power of racism. If I'm a bigot, I would just call you a spick or whatever the hell else they call you, right? That's a bigot. That's the difference. Devin Haney has no power to do anything. All these people that are getting offended, you can't find one person that could put into plain words why they're offended. I mean, because honestly, everybody that backs Devin Haney is white, and I don't see them pulling out of the Devin Haney business, right? Look at the clothes he wears; those are made by white clothing designers. I don't see them calling. I don't see them getting on TV or anything saying, "Thank you for your business, but no, thank you." Where he lives, he pays he's paying his mortgage to a white company. I don't see them telling him thank you, but it's time for you to move now. This is all just hype just to sell a fight. There's nothing more, nothing less. It's just no one that will call in, white or black or whatever, who's actually pissed off about this can give you a valid reason why they're pissed off. Okay, when I got my jaw broke coming up by a bunch of white boys because I was in a white neighborhood and it got dark, hey, that's racism. That happens. Did that bother me? Yes, it scarred me for life, and I had to do some things coming up, but hell, that's life. Right? So stop being so touchy and soft about things you cannot control. It's just hype. Hopkins did the same thing to the people back in the day because you cannot sell a fighter like Joe Kownacki because he sucks and he's boring and he's not fan friendly. So Hagler said, not Hagler. What am I talking about? Hopkins. Hopkins said, "I'm not ever gonna get beat by a white boy." That drew so much attention to the fight. The fight became so much bigger. I mean, cut it out. There's nothing more, nothing less. There's not one person getting lynched, murdered, one cross being burned on anybody's lawn from Haney's comment. Not a one.
90 seconds.
Have a good night.
Troy, Baltimore, thanks for calling in. Let me see. Stainless Boomerang.
On Boomerang?
What's up?
You called me on Boomerang?
Yeah.
Man, I was trying to tiptoe away from this whole race subject, man, but speaking as a black man, I don't think we should ever be considered racist. Man, we are people that were brought here against our will, made to work for generations, and even on the get back, we still getting put back. So, you know what I'm saying? That whole remark, it don't bother me. It shouldn't bother any other white person unless you consider yourself underprivileged or lesser than the black person. And if so, then maybe that's something you need to deal with in yourself. Like I say, I'm at work, man. I appreciate the time, fellas, man. It's 8:59. I got an hour left. Thanks to y'all. As I always say, please make sure you push that thumbs up, share this and every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. This is TBV for life. And if you ain't on Patreon, I guess you'll hear this next week because you a pendejo. And shout out to El Camino. Peace.
Pace. Yeah, man, that's it. That's everyone. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We'll be back tomorrow morning, Monday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I said 6 a.m., yes. And then 7 a.m. Central. So, NestGTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Oh, Info Joe. I forgot all about you, Joe. What up?
Oh, shit. He said get him last.
Word.
Info Joe.
That Indica probably hit him hard.
Yo.
What up?
He said the
Hey,
Indica
man.
hit you hard, Joe.
Hey, no, thanks for coming back, man. I had to. My wife went and got Five Guys, man, so I couldn't disrespect the Five Guys like that. Five Guys. Burgers.
Whoa!
Cass.
Pause, yo, pause.
Yeah. Yeah, good one. Where we at? All right. Hey, far as Kevin Cunningham wanted to open up, and I see a lot of protesters out there opening up. Yo, I just buried my uncle. Well, I didn't bury him. I wasn't able to go back to Texas, man. He got shipped from Buffalo, New York. He died from the coronavirus, my uncle. And they just buried him yesterday. My wife's friend, brother, he's 26 years old. He died. So I think motherfuckers better. I think they need to really. I'm kind of split on it. We do need to open up so everybody can get back to work and get back to this bread. But I checked. What was it, day before yesterday? They only had like 3 to 4 million people tested, and we was at 340 million of us in America. You know, they got to get some more tests out before I think they should open up. But I know that some states don't have it bad as Cali or New York or Michigan or Louisiana and so forth. But I think they needed to pump their brakes and do some more testing before they open it up. Far as Devin Haney, I wouldn't say he was a racist. Piggyback off what Brandon said. When you grow up in the inner city, you use that word like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, that white boy. It was a white boy that grew up in my neighborhood. His name was Raymond. We called him White Boy Raymond because it was more than one Raymond in our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You know, that was the other Raymond was black, so we called that one White Boy Raymond. You know what I'm saying? And you made the analogy the white man can't jump. That was the hustle because everybody didn't believe the white man can jump and can ball with the inner city dudes. So that was Wesley Snipes' hustle. You know what I'm saying? So that it's just some culture shit. But far as what the other gentleman was saying, far as being able to implement your racism. Racism is when I have the same credit score as my white counterpart, but I get a higher interest rate. That's institutionalized racism. Why do they put your race on your application for a job? You know what I'm saying? So it's institutionalized. That's mainly my point on that. What was the other topic? Oh, I wanted to get on a prime young Mike Tyson under custom motto will put hands on Wilder. Now, him being 53 years old, yeah, I'll put Wilder to knock him out. But I put any of the top 4 from the 90s generation against this new generation of dudes who just some of them, like Gerald Washington, was a football player. From that generation, from the Tyson era,
Gerald
the Holyfield,
Washington ain't no top dude, man. Get out of here.
No, I'm just saying
I'm just saying Washington in the mix.
All these dudes didn't have. These dudes been boxing since they was kids. Holyfield, Tyson, Hakeem Rockman. Not no dudes just wanted to pick up boxing when they 18, 19 years old. It was in them already. So I put any of those generations against this generation. I put Holyfield to knock out Wilder and fucking AJ. You know what I'm saying? I think that generation, man, they was hard.
Get out of here, Joe. You too old, man. You wilding right now. You wilding.
Yo,
you wilding, Joe. I gave him too much time. He got crazy, yo. How you gonna say that shit?
That's head was getting.
Evander Holyfield popped positive like 2 times, bro. You know he was gonna take some shit against Wilder, and the fight wasn't gonna happen. Get out of here, man. Vada wasn't even popping back then, man. Imagine what he popped with the commission. Imagine what a Vada would have done to that era, man. Get out of here, man. I want to hear that. I hear you though. I'm biased to this era. That's all. You older than me. Joe 57, so that's his era, you know. He fuck with them. Yo, and that's GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Catch us on the next one tomorrow morning. Peace.
TBV_Cash, you fan on Twitter and on YouTube. Patreon.com/Boxing Fan Apparel. Check me out. Peace.
Catch me on IG, Alex_Doomsday_LAINEZ. Catch me on Twitter, AlexLinusTBV. And don't forget to go to Patreon. Check that out. Bob Arum interview is pretty damn good. Bob always letting loose here with TBV. And yeah, man, fuck racism. And Devin is not racist. So get it out your heads. Chee.
Oh, Getty. Yo, you guys got to stop with this late shit. For real. Getty, what up?
Yo, man, man, y'all called me, and then y'all just cut me off and all that. Y'all started getting into the call and all that.
Nah, you never unmuted. Like, I could see when you unmute your mic, but never mind. I apologize if that did take place. I got you next time. Let me turn on the clock. What's good?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, no doubt, man. Well, I'm going to keep it short, man. I'm going to just go on the topic that I really want to talk about, man. I think you bugging, man, to say that my man Ali is going to lose to Tyson. Is that what you said? Let's get that out.
Yeah, I think Ali. I think Muhammad Ali. I think
bugging.
I think Muhammad
You coming
Ali.
for Enrique's neck right now?
Let me
Yeah,
tell you
I
why.
just saw
Let me tell
Ali
you why
fight
you
this
bugging.
weekend for the
Let me
first time.
tell you
I
why you
love
bugging.
Ali who he is.
My time. Before y'all cut me off. Let me tell you why you bugging.
Go ahead.
Because one, Ali will decipher Tyson. You dig what I'm saying? You talk about intelligence. Ali is intelligence. You dig what I'm saying? He's that definition. He's one of the reasons why one of those things, those symbols in boxing that recognizes on intelligence. Tyson is not. And all that. What else did you mention?
Bruh,
I guess you could.
Ali
They can
lost already. You forgetting he lost already?
Ali is faster, way faster than Tyson
But
Fury.
are you forgetting that he lost already?
Yeah, he could lose. Like you said plenty of times. Losing don't change anything. We talking about Tyson and Ali.
Yeah,
Tyson is not.
but
Ali.
we not talking about Tyson and Ali 10 times out of 10. We talking about, can Tyson beat Ali? Yeah, he could beat him. Every attribute is there, physically and in skill, and then the blueprint's been there like 5 times.
What Devin Haney said, Ali not letting that white boy beat him.
All right. So
Yo,
did
I was
D-Hop.
talking about Mike Tyson. He's talking about Tyson Fury, so I get it. That was Ness.
Yeah. Enrique said Mike Tyson will beat Ali.
Yeah,
I'm saying Tyson Fury.
Whoever saying Mike Tyson will beat Ali, they praying for that left hook to land, and that's if that left hook gonna land. But I get him because he got a little head movement. He could get into the inside, but they praying for that left hook like Frazier caught Ali. But other than that, it ain't happening, man. Ali is fucking up a lot of guys, man.
I hear you, man. But he also lost to, the little Frazier. You know what I mean? So
people got to understand, Ali just wasn't fighting boxers, man. He had to fight politics. He had to fight the government. He had a lot of enemies out there, man. That's the champ, and recognize it. You bugging.
I understand that part.
Yo, George Foreman 6'3" and gave Ali 15 rounds of hell.
He did not. I know he did not. I watched the fight while we was on the call. Ali damn near was winning that fight until he knocked him out. All that he was getting punished for. What you talking about, man?
You said you watched the 15-round fight on the call?
I'm talking about the Rumble in the Jungle. George Foreman versus Ali. That shit he knocked. What 15 round you talking about?
Yo, man, listen, yo. If you
they were fighting for longer rounds.
If you believe that Ali and George Foreman, Ali won that fight all arounds, I don't know. So how did rope-a-dope get invented then?
Now he was getting him on the ropes, but Foreman was also headhunting. He was missing a lot of those shots.
Bruh.
You feel what I'm saying?
And again, I'm going back.
It wasn't fighting for the belts. That was for the undisputed, by the way, too.
I'm going back to the fact that George Foreman is 6'3". That alone, man. That alone.
Yeah, Ali was 6'2". Ali was 6'2".
Exactly.
What we talking? What we talking about?
We talking about 273 pounds, 6'9". That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about.
And we talking about the greatness. That's what we talking about. And you know why he.
Bruh, you can't deny this man's greatness. You can argue it all you want. You can't deny his greatness. You can't.
Who great you talking about? Because when you say
Tyson's,
Ali
man.
come to mind.
Tyson,
When you
listen,
say greatness,
I
Ali come to mind.
I done gave you 6 minutes. That's cool. That's cool. I get you, man. Listen.
You know what's crazy, man?
Ali is iconic. No. Ali is iconic, man, and he's done so much. And here I am saying that this new dude who's also white could beat Ali. I get it. I just think that you gotta respect the height, the reach, the boxing IQ, the distance. Look at what he did with Vlad. We talking about super heavyweights. You guys talking about, Ali, you know how much Ali weighed when he fought George?
Yes, you think he would have beat Vladimir Klitschko if he would have fought him like he did Wilder?
216. Now, in retrospect, it's a bit unfair to say that, right? Because Wilder weighed 209.
Yeah, he would be a good Wilder opponent.
But Wilder's still 6'7".
Oh, height.
And Ali 6'2". And George was 6'3". 220 George was. Fury's 273. Like
6'9".
6'9". Like I get it though. I get it. Nah, yo, whatever. You know, it is what it is. It's something that'll never be able to, truly be known.
Simulations, bro. That's all
Not
we
even,
got.
not even because those simulations will be based off of certain things that the gamer is implementing. You know what I mean? Like other thing you gotta put into question now or factor in is you gotta start saying Tyson's a puncher. He got like 26 fights, 22 knockouts or 21 knockouts, and he just knocked out Deontay Wilder. Like you can't not say he ain't no puncher no more. You know what I mean? So look, it's only one fight, so to speak, but to some it's already been two. Wilder got the third one to change shit around, but
man, I want my boy Wilder to come back and shut shit down, bro. I'm
Right
tired of
now-
all this disrespectful
Yeah,
shit. I'm tired
he
of
need
kicking me
that.
while you down shit.
But
just
that's
like,
karma,
dang.
man. That's karma. We did it, and
I mean, he spoke from a high horse, right?
But we did too. I'm not
No,
even
I'm
blaming
talking
him.
about
I'm saying
Wilder.
I'm saying I was parading on AJ's loss. But yeah, we said all our outs. We out. Peace.
Damn, our title.
You said yours, Enrique?
Yeah, man. I just came across this tweet that said, honestly, why are people offended what Devin Haney said about never being beat by a white boy? It's boxing. Controversy is good. He's not your friend or marrying someone you care about. Stop being so sensitive, fight fans. Peace.
Hey.
Who said that?